Welcome to the Doujin episode of Trash Taste.
So what you are about to witness is probably going to be an edited version, or at least there's no doujins that we can possibly show on screen, since a lot of the material we are going to be covering is going to be very explicit.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about it, but you won't be able to see any of it. So if you'd like to check it out and also support the show, then make sure to go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. And
where you'll get to see all the panels on screen when we talk about them.
Exactly.
So, yeah, if you want to jack off while watching Trash Taste, now you can.
But if not, then grab yourself a drink. And,
or if you're just doing it anyway, welcome.
Yeah, just welcome. You can just jack off to us, I guess.
Right,
no, please don't. Please don't.
Let's get on with it.
While you open the wine, Garnt,
Okay.
I will explain what we're doing
This
today.
is going to be a wine episode because we're going to need the alcohol to get
We
I'm
haven't
through.
drank in a
drinking
while on
pecorino
Trash
juice.
Taste because I feel like we've been filming earlier. But yeah, essentially, I don't read doujins as I've expressed before.
You don't read.
I don't read. I don't read
At
full
all.
stop. And preferably, I do not like my porn to be reading. We can get into that. So instead, we decided the boys have both recommended me 3 doujins each to read, and
then we are going
bonus
to
one.
end on a very special one where I'm sure people are going to be excited
So
for.
in total, we're going to talk about 7?
Yeah, we're going to be
7.
talking about 7 doujins or doujinshis.
Six doujins and a mess, Metamorphosis, which we'll get into. So yeah, and there's a little special thing going on where I don't know whose is which. So I've been recommended 6.
Do you have like no clue at all? Or?
I think I've some of them I know.
Yeah.
Some of them I know.
I thought some were pretty obvious.
Some are
some are
very,
pretty
very
obvious.
obvious.
Yeah.
Damn, you needed 2 shots of vodka there, God. Damn, okay. Some are very obvious. Some I don't know. And throughout this, I will be guessing as well whose doujin was which recommendation.
We're
Yeah.
mostly though, this show is going to be just watching me and Garnt just enjoying Connor's reactions to our recommendations.
And I assume you both read each other's recommendations.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's funny because we recommended 3 doujinshis each, and I remember giving the list to Joey, and Joey gave his list, and we were like, "Damn, we both recommended doujins that were like 200 pages long at least," and we were just like, "Connor, it's cool. You don't need to read it all. Just read like 3 chapters or something."
Yeah, until you get like the general gist of it, right?
Yeah.
But then Connor was like, "Bet."
Bro, I'm like, first of all, where do I even read doujins? I don't even know where you go. Like, I was like, I'm totally confused.
I mean, there's lots of sites out
And then
there.
I look for the sites, and it just gets to the point where I'm just fighting for my fucking life to get the shit on full screen. There's fucking pop-ups every 2 fucking seconds. I'm just trying to do my homework, and I gotta worry about fucking hot single ladies in my area. Like it's terrible.
You'll get used to it, man. Don't
So,
worry.
how long did it take you to read everything?
I was under the impression, right, that doujins were like 30, 40 pages.
No, a lot of them are. That's the thing.
yeah.
How did you guys manage to find all of them that were like 200 fucking pages?
Because those are the best
Those
ones.
are the best ones.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying, just stop at 1 chapter. There was never any breaks in these things. So I couldn't just
What do you
drop
mean?
it.
They all had chapters.
Not that I saw when I was reading
Yeah.
them. I don't know where I was reading them.
When it says at the end of the chapter, it says like ending or like to be continued.
But I also
or
feel
something.
like, at
Some
least,
of them literally have a whole page that says
Yeah.
chapter 2.
I did not see that. But I read them all.
Jesus Christ.
So I'm going to tell the names of these doujins, which again still mean nothing to me. Dorei Usagi to Anthony. What?
White man butchers Japanese.
to Anthony.
To Anthony.
What is it? Anthony? Is that what it is? What is it, huh? What is it? I don't know.
No, go on. What else?
Inma no Mikata,
Yeah.
Succubi's supporter.
Uh-huh.
Are you? So you're saying the Japanese name and then the translated name?
Oh, is that
Yeah.
what this is? I thought
Some of them have like
okay,
English
okay.
translations of the
Yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
name, yeah.
Juunengo no Jinsei Soudan.
Nihongo Joseph.
Life consultation after 10 years.
Uh-huh.
Peace Hame.
Yeah.
Very interesting title. Seikatsu Shuukan.
Yeah.
Kyoushi to Seito to.
Okay.
Teacher and student.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I understand that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I just went in order of which one you gave me. So I read
Okay.
I read Dorei Usagi to Anthony. When should I guess whose I think it is? At
Why don't
the
you
end?
guess it right
Why
at the
don't you
beginning?
guess it right at the beginning?
I think
It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
I think I wrote down each one. I think this
Okay.
was Joey's.
You are correct.
You are correct.
And I think because there was like a lolly for like 10 seconds. I was like, Joe,
I saw the cover, and I'm just like, Connor's gonna immediately guess
'cause
this.
the cover looked like fucking Shinobu. Like, cover looked like this bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, this is Joey's.
This was the cover of the main girl, and I'm just like, she like emanates such Shinobu energy that Connor's gonna immediately guess
the
this.
first thing I wrote was just from the cover, I think it's Joey.
This is literally going to be, if it's not a MILF, it's a lolly. The episode.
There was some where, there was some.
Okay, to be fair, this one I don't blame you.
Yeah.
This one I don't blame you.
She wasn't a lolly. She just looked like Shinobu.
Before we jump right into it, what were your thoughts? Yeah, what were your thoughts going into just reading hentai? Because this is like our unofficial sequel to the hentai episode, I guess.
Go check that out if you haven't yet.
It is exhausting reading porn.
Well, I'm sure it is if you read.
It's like if you asked me to like, okay, if you're horny, you want jack off to something, you can do it, right? A 10-minute video, whatever.
Yeah.
If you made me sit through like a 2-hour JAV when I'm not horny, I couldn't imagine like a worse experience in my life. You know what I mean?
Because how long were you collectively reading these doujins for?
Like 3 to 4 hours.
Well, it's because
back to back.
Well, it's because we thought, right? We were like, I saw the list, and I was like, all of these are like full on like books.
Yeah,
right?
I read them all.
So I was like, oh, okay, so like a couple of chapters each. Max take like an hour.
He just needs to get an idea of each.
Yeah.
Well, there's only one of them I didn't read fully was because there was like 800
500 pages, right?
It's ridiculous. So I gave up on the first one. But I mean, yeah, it was exhausting. It is really like I've sat through really bad movies that I felt were less painful than this. Like it is just difficult. And like reading doujins, I can see it. You know, sometimes you see something like, oh, that's hot, and then I'm like, even if I wanted to jack off here, what am I supposed to do? Do I just sit there and think about what I'm looking at? Like that feels like I'm like de-evolving. Like at what point do I just do like Morse code masturbating? Like where I'm like, oh dude, that's so hot. She's telling me she's gonna fuck me in Morse. Like I don't know. To me, I like the movement. I'm not seeing enough movement, you know?
I'm not seeing enough movement.
My eyes are not stimulated enough.
I don't know. I was reading this and I just like, every time I thought this was really hot, I'm like, well, what I do?
What would I do?
It's not continuing. I have to continue it.
My cock in my hand. I don't know what to do.
I'm like, what do I do? Dick in hand.
Stuck in the
What
sink.
do I do? What do I do? It's not moving. It needs to move. When does it start moving?
This is the exact reaction I wanted.
Yeah.
Even if I thought it was hot, I just some of them, I will admit, some of them I thought were quite attractive. I thought they were very well done, and if they were in anime form, I'd not.
It's
100%.
weird because like some of these have had anime adaptations, right?
I know.
But like to me, like the Doujin version is like always hotter than the anime version. I don't know what it is about.
I mean, the
hentai.
drawings are very more intense. That's something I learned very quickly.
I get like a way more intense feeling from reading the doujins. No, because than watching the anime adaptation.
No, I
right?
agree.
To me, like it's a different kind of art form, right? Because to me, like reading doujins is like to me it's a really good way to warm up, right? Right. Because to me, like, who really likes sitting through a 20-minute hentai? You know, that's
I don't mind. I've got time.
I mean, most of the time I'm just like whatever. But for some reason, in stories and doujins, I'm like, I'm listening. Go on.
Yeah, you're reading, Joe.
Yeah, I'm reading. I'm invested. Go on.
So to me, reading doujins is just getting the story, getting the context and being able to get the story without having to like just watch 20 minutes of just boring build up.
And it's so much hotter when you understand the context.
I like speed run the story most of the time anyway. Like if it's like this, you know what they're doing. It's like, all right,
yeah.
Tap 10 seconds forward. I'm like, I get it. He's your brother. All right, okay.
Yeah.
In a laundry machine. Oh no. I skip forward. I'm like, okay. I've got enough understanding of the plot that I can go now.
Yeah.
Right.
I can do it. I can enjoy it.
So did you like input any of the stories of any of the ones
I did. I actually because obviously when you're reading, it's really hard to ignore the story.
You can't double tap.
It's really frustrating.
You couldn't skip the cutscenes.
What am I doing wrong?
I feel like this is a fatal flaw of books. You can't skip any of the story.
You can't skip the cutscenes. You can't just go straight to the gameplay.
As much as I tried, trust me.
All right, so let's start with the first one then.
Dorei Usagi.
Wait, which is the first one you want to start with? Do you want to go in order?
We'll start with this one.
Dorei Usagi dancing, right?
So this is the one where it was just a strange story. I admit that at times it was quite hot, but then it was also really weird, really weird. So I mean, Like,
How so?
So there's this girl who's a ghost, but she's then not a ghost. I think she's taking medicine to go invisible. And then she's like sucking him off in the class, and no one can see him suck. No one, but she's invisible, but he's not. So why is his dick invisible? This is going to sound really strange. This was a very confusing plot.
Oh yeah, so if you care about reading the Doujins, we're going to be spoiling it, I guess. If you care about the plot,
Spoilers. Spoiler warning.
This was like for every like in this one at least, for every like one moment that I was like, oh, that's hot. It would literally do 10 other things. So I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
what the fuck am I reading?
Honestly, I because after you've read everything, because I only I thought you were just going to read a few chapters of everything. So I read a few chapters of Joey, and then when you said you read everything, I went back to just completely finish everything as well. Right?
I feel like there's just a complete 180 at the end as well, where it starts going into this other backstory. And I'm like, no.
That author tends to do that with everything he writes.
There were just like moments in there where I had to write down. It was like, I put, this shit is mad incel. These
Isn't that most Doujins?
Yeah,
That's most Doujins.
Because there was this moment where like, oh, these girls are wearing skirts. They're such sluts. And I'm like, all right.
These femoids.
I'm like, all right, okay. Jeez, I'm like,
How dare they?
I know what I'm getting myself into.
I mean, look at the main character. He's
Yeah, that's
just
true.
he's
That's
like
true.
Okay.
Right.
I guess before we get into it, Joey, do you want to explain why you chose
why did
this
you
one?
choose this?
Why
Why
did you choose this one?
Okay, so literally, okay, I'll admit, this was the part where I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what to do for the third one."
Okay.
But I like everything by Akatsuki Miuto, who's like this artist. So honestly, any one of his could have been on this list.
Right.
But I figured like probably the least weird one for Connor would be this one.
The least weird
The
one?
least weird
I feel
one.
like this is not the least weird one. I mean, there's a few other. I mean, it's not that bad.
No,
I
the
mean,
least weird out of his works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, like the other two are ones that I actually really enjoy.
Yeah.
That like immediately came off the top of my head.
You know, the one thing that I wish they would just chill out with on Doujins is just how fast shit escalates. It goes from like ooh woo to like gangbang in the showers within like 4 pages at times. And I'm like, hold on. Let me
There's no time to fuck around. There's minutes and pages.
Yeah, let this boy chill her out a little bit. Let him play some video games. Be like, fuck, I just fucked, you know? Like, damn.
Why? Like, I don't know why you're suggesting that because you're probably going to skip over it.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but it's just like, oh god, okay, I'm trying to pay. Oh god, we're fucking. Oh jeez,
Yeah.
it's just.
Give me a warning.
I actually had like out of everyone, I had the most trouble following this story.
This was really
Because
confusing.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a really simple story, and then like the last chapter hit, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what is going on right now?
Because I'm fucking stupid. Can you explain the basic premise of the story?
From what I
Which again, it's from what I understand. This guy was. Had okay, so again, you're not found. I won't spoil the thing because you find out more earlier on, but we'll start from the start. You just kind of find this guy, kind of like a normal incel, kind of. I mean,
So
I feel like
basic
hentai
hentai
protagonist.
protagonist,
basic
yeah.
hentai
You know,
protagonist.
wants to get revenge on all the women around him, and then a girl transfers into the school who then immediately just is a ghost.
Yeah.
But starts fucking him, but then
So only he can see her, but no one else can see her. So she gives him glasses or something that
That's
makes
right.
Yeah, she gives him some glasses
that make all the clothes see through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that make all the clothes see-through. So he's just looking at all these naked girls while being sucked off by this invisible girl, even though no girl can see him being
and
sucked
also
off.
this girl immediately starts sucking him off right away. And then I hate it when they do this, when they refer to the characters, when they refer to themselves in the third person to me. I'm like, stop that. What is that? Like,
Is that what they did?
yeah, they did that in only in the first scene. And I was like, oh god, please don't make this a constant thing. She's like calling herself her name, which is Charlotte, I think.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, Charlotte is happy. And I'm like, oh, for
Yeah.
fuck's
She
sake.
calls herself third person. That's right.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's been a while since I read this one.
I was hoping you could bring more context into it.
But
here,
okay, but I remember the reason why I picked this one is because it literally has every tag.
I guess.
That's what I enjoy about it. Like you get the best of. I was about to say both worlds. Every world.
Every world.
Every multiverse.
There's a lot. And so he fucks the ghost, blowjob, and apparently no one else can see, even though.
Even though he's like clearly nutting
Yeah,
at the
I'm like,
table.
this guy is literally nutting.
He's like-
are you telling me?
And she's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, like as if no one would notice that you're, come on.
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
To be honest, that scene
Yeah.
was fucking hilarious.
It's hard to believe that it's as attractive because there's there's no way I could be like, oh, that's hot. That could be me. Like, no, it could never ever be me. And not that I would ever want to go sucking. I don't want Casper sucking me off.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of, you know what I mean.
Basically, like the first chapter just kind of reminded me of like some porn spin-off of Bunny Girl Senpai, right?
Yeah.
Where you know where he's in the library and he sees Mai for the first time and no one else can see him. This is basically just that. You know,
This is that if it was R18.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I've watched hentai, so I know this shit exists. But there was one piece of dialogue as well where, like, the bully girls who are like attractive or whatever.
Oh, the gals, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
gals, you know, they ask him for money, and that's so inexcusable that in return he's gonna fuck them. That's how he's gonna get back at them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this logic? Like, what am I?
It's incel logic,
I know.
It's incel
It's
logic.
like, bro, she just literally asked you for a tenner. What do you mean? Like, chill out. Like, come on. Like, I don't think it's that bad.
Like, how dare you?
Okay, now he become horny Casper the Ghost. He goes invisible.
Okay,
That's why he goes invisible.
I was not following the story at all.
So then what happens is that the girl, this Charlotte ghost girl, then is like, well, don't worry, homie, I got you, and starts like drugging the other people in the class that make them horny.
Oh yeah,
And
she
then he
does
starts
do
fucking
that.
them.
Yeah.
And then she introduces like new power-ups. This is like the fastest
That's
PS2
what
game.
I'm saying, man. Like, it's every tag.
And then he's like, oh, hold up, but now you can drug them, and then I'll give you invisibility drugs. And then it's like, but you only got 30 minutes. And then he starts fucking like the whole school. And then they find out, and then they don't care. And then they carry on fucking, and then this just goes insanity, and literally the whole school is being fucked by this guy within like, I'm literally 10 minutes into the story. And this is what's going on.
Yep.
I'm like, I can't think. What is happening? Which girl is which? I don't know which. They all have the same hairstyle. Wait, is this girl relevant? Wait, which one's the girl?
No,
what is happening?
It was at this point where, like, you know when there's like so many girls that all of them just start blending in together, and you're just like, I don't even know who you're fucking anymore.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, right. Like, you know, and then where the fuck did this Willy Wonka candy come from? Where everyone's just fucking horny now. Where does this come from? Where's the backstory to that? You know, it's his
no
doll.
backstory.
And then later on, we find out that the main girl who he wanted to fuck the whole time was some poor homeless girl that he was speaking to in the start.
Oh, the student council girl.
Yeah,
right?
that he got made fun of for talking to, and then the girl wishes that they never met. Or he wishes that he never, and then his doll comes to life, and that's the one he's fucking, and she brings the drugs. What is going on?
That's what confused me. It was that chapter where the doll starts talking, and I'm just like, have I just skipped over a chapter? Because it just
this is literally like Lord of the Rings when you miss like one page, you're like, hold up, did I just miss the whole? Did I miss the whole story?
You missed the whole point of the show.
I need to go back 20 pages.
It feels like I just got a Shyamalan twist without having a Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
You know, like
Every page is a Shyamalan twist.
I can't keep up with it. I'm just like, what is going on? But like, there'll be like 2 moments where I'm like, that's hot. But then what is going on?
Okay. What I didn't understand was, so was the main girl was she wearing a wig the entire time? Was that the twist? I didn't understand.
Just like a bald bitch.
Yeah,
It's like my weave.
He shows up at this house and he's just like, what's the girl's name again? Like Charlotte. He's just like, Charlotte? And it's a girl with black hair. And then Charlotte fucking runs away and like starts putting on a wig, right?
Yeah.
Am I following this correctly?
Wait, what? I don't know.
This was like the second to last chapter. Right?
I thought it was just like, you know what? I honestly got very confused. I'm not going to lie. There's multiple times. I reread this ending like 4 times and I still didn't understand what was happening. And then like, they just pull like, you know, he literally, it's just the sheer like, how it just changes like completely.
Yeah.
It literally ends on like a gangbang, and then the next panel, it's like you could hear the Anohana music playing. It's like, but really, there's a sad backstory as to why he's fucking everyone. It's like, oh, get the fuck out of here! What is this? I don't give a fuck. No one cares.
Not gonna lie, I chose this one because I knew you guys would react like this because it's so ridiculous that I just love it.
Like, you know that shonen trope where like the villain gets defeated and then after the villain's defeated, you finally see his backstory? That's like, that doesn't belong in a hentai, you know? You can't just fuck a girl and then just show her backstory after she gets fucked, okay? Like, I need this context before the fucking happens.
It's like putting a backstory in the middle of a fight, right? It's just like, why now? Why now? You couldn't have waited till afterwards?
I'm not gonna lie. Some of these are it's blending into my head. This is the what? And it just ends. How does this one end?
It ends with this random fucking side story of
With
someone
the marriage?
With
Yeah,
the
with the
marriage.
marriage.
I was like, what is happening?
And I'm like, I didn't recognize any of these
None of
characters.
these characters look the same.
It wasn't even the main fucking character.
But they just fuck. They just fuck for some reason, even though he's just cheated right before his like wedding day or some shit. Like, he like cheats right before his wedding day. Like the whole story is like they're a fan club of him. I think.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
a fan club of
yeah.
the ghost that fuck. Like the main protagonist, the incel guy. They make a fan club of him in the side story. But I don't recognize any of these characters.
No.
And then 2 of them are getting married.
And it's not even the main girl
No,
either.
it's got nothing to do with them.
It's a different girl.
And then he cheats on her right before the day of, and then there's a whole scene of, does anyone object to the marriage? And they were like, I do. It's like, this shit is insanity. It's like, I didn't even know what
I
to
don't
critique.
regret this one.
There's so much shit happening that I'm like, what do I even begin to critique? Because there was just way too much shit going on. It's like someone, he literally pulled up every genre and he was like, bet.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to get
That's
every-
exactly what he did.
It's like, is there a genre where it's like, you know,
like-
shout at the wedding, no, stop the marriage? Is that a tag? That could be a tag.
Yeah, it probably is. And he probably meant it.
Stop the count. Stop the count.
My favorite anti-tag, stop the count.
That is this tag. It's just stop the count, right? Because he's fucked so many girls now that he can't even count how many girls he's fucked.
Like, it's, to me, you know, like I said on the hentai episode, you know, there has to be some kind of story in there. And there was moments.
Oh, now you care about story, huh?
And hentai, I do. Yeah, I need a little bit of story.
This
Which
man.
is why
This is the only time when
some of them it might shock you that I enjoy later. But like this one was just like, what the fuck is happening? It's a dumbass story. Shit keeps getting weirder and weirder. Not in a funny way, like that one hentai where people start shooting each other and there's dubstep. There's no dubstep to go along with these panels. Dubstep would have gone great with some of these scenes.
Oh,
frankly,
yeah.
I wish there was a built-in like dubstep.
You could have just gone onto YouTube and dubstepped as you read it.
Honestly, this is the kind of it's literally the kind of doji where I put on Skrillex in the background and it'll be wild paced like Skrillex.
Honestly, like reading this, I feel like my boner got whiplash.
Yeah,
You know, with the amount of shit that was happening.
True.
You're just
Your
like,
dick got a workout after that. It's just like,
Every time you're like, I'm into this. It's like, no.
no. Okay, it's like you start getting into it. Nope, new tag. Okay, well, I guess I'll just Okay, new tag. Okay, and I'm just like, okay. What is the theme to this? What was the author
was the
trying?
vision? What was the vision?
What was the author trying to say with
No,
this?
this is literally what tags you want. Yes, this is what this is.
It's terrible. It's fucking
I
terrible.
know. To me, it needed. Okay, this is gonna sound so fucking pretentious. It needed something to connect all the dots, right?
No, I honestly, I'm gonna agree with you.
Oh my fucking god, are we
I'm
agreeing on
actually gonna
something,
agree with
Connor?
you.
My fucking god.
This felt like-
trash taste first.
This felt like just 10 doujins that have been like, let's just fucking ram them into one. We got these sexy girls that I don't want to redraw or in different ways, like shove them into one.
you know what this felt like? This felt like it was like if the MCU had one recurring character in every movie, right? But then it was just like it was one continuous narrative.
Yeah.
But it's because every movie genre is so fucking different, you just don't know what the fuck's going on. You can't follow anything.
It's like playing all the MCU movies at once.
Yeah, I know, right?
I gave this one, I originally wrote down 7, but that can't be right. I'd give it like a 5, really.
Oh, we're doing scores as well.
I would have given it, I gave it a 5.
Is this one got an anime adaptation? Like a hentai adaptation?
I don't think so.
think so.
I don't think so. I don't think anything by Akatsuki Minato's gotten an anime. But I mean,
I don't
if
even
this
know
does
the
well,
okay.
authors.
I guess before we move on though, what did you think of the art?
It's fine. It's pretty good. The art's pretty intense. I mean, I feel like there's
That's
a
what I like
lot
most.
more fluids going on in the Doujins and the anime adaptations.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
the
they gotta make it
art. The
count.
art, I was like, it's pretty damn good. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
fault that. You know,
He's a really good
The
artist.
art was good.
He's a really
The
good
art
artist.
was good.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any of these Doujins where the art put me off, except I liked all of them actually. I'd say all of them had their merits.
That's good.
So like in his other works, you said this one was one of the least weird ones.
Yeah.
Right? What's so weird about his other works? What happens in his other works, if you can
fuck.
remember? And Ashley, can you put on the air conditioning right now? Because I'm getting a bit heated.
It's getting hot in here.
Stay hot in here.
Literally and like mentally and physically right now.
So there's another one. When I was like thinking of what the last one is, right? I was like, all right, let me go through my favorite artists and see if there's one I can remember. And then I got to his works, and one of them I wanted to recommend was one called Lingua Franca,
okay.
which is also done by him. And again, this is a while since I've read this one, but oversimplified premise is guy and a girl flying a plane across an island, and they crash land onto said island, and that island has this secret civilization of all these like Amazoness girls who live there.
Isn't this a Futurama episode?
And the guy gets kidnapped by that civilization because he's the first male that they've seen in like over 100 years.
This is
Death
literally
by
the,
Snoo Snoo.
Yeah, this is literally the Futurama episode.
It's literally Death by Snoo Snoo.
Oh my god.
But then you find out there's like this like alien species that has been controlling that civilization for the longest time.
That's Futurama. That's literally there's a robot controlling them.
I do not remember that
That
part
Bender
of the
like
Futurized.
makes out with.
I can't believe Futurama
This is
ripped
literally,
off.
this is literally a Futurama episode.
I can't believe Futurama ripped them off like that. Cease and desist incoming.
I mean, if you had to give this a rating, what would you give it then? Top of your head, eh?
I'd say like 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah, it's good, but it's not my favorite of his.
I think the best part of this was the art.
Yeah.
The ending and the fact that it ended, honestly.
The ending just made me confused.
I did, and I don't like it when they put a one shot with totally different characters that's like 10 pages. That just confuses me. I'm like, wait, should I be? Wait, what's going on? Wait,
The bonus
I
content.
hate
right?
it when they do that.
Yeah.
It confuses me to death.
Well, that's like the bonus content you get from buying the full book,
Right,
rather than
right.
just reading in magazine.
Right.
Yeah, I'll give it a 5. It was like
That's a pass.
Huh?
That's a pass.
I've seen like a lot of hentai like this where it's just like, all right, let's just get into the fucking as fast as possible.
Yep.
What is the premise? All right, premise done. How many girls can this fuck in one single sitting?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was just this hentai. I mean, it was good. It was good, you know.
No, look, I'll admit, even though I recommended it, it's nothing special.
Okay.
I just really like the art.
You're just grasping at straws.
No. I just really like the artist.
Okay.
And how fucking ridiculous and like, just like his passion for just being like, finna put every tag that I can into one show. It's like, I respect it.
I respect it.
All right, what's the next one?
Inma no Mikata, Succubi's supporter.
Oh, yes.
yeah.
Which one do you think this is?
Whoever chose this knew me well, I'd say.
Right.
I think I have this as Joey here.
Okay.
It's mine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which, you know what?
This one could have gone either way. I think.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what's
yeah.
funny is that this is one of 3 that I've read before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to put it in until Garnt sent me his list.
Dude, it's a classic.
It is like one of the top rated ones.
I think it's one of the most famous doujinshis, like long form doujinshis of all time.
Yeah.
I mean,
And for good
I see why.
and
Yeah,
for
I
good
see
fucking
why.
reason. Like it's
art is great, story's great.
art is great, story is great, and
everything's
just blowjobs with
Very
like
good, very good.
it will blow your
I will-
fucking mind.
So essentially, how the story starts is there's just a guy who doesn't have a job, chilling on a bench, and then Succubi's come up to him, kind of like a like a hot singles in your area ad,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
But IRL.
But IRL.
Yeah, they just come up to him. They're like, "Hey, do you want a job helping us succubuses?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't know what that is, but okay, sure."
What's a succubus?
All right, I
Yeah,
guess
so
so.
to give a bit more context, so this world has like succubi or succubus have integrated into the human society. So like they're not this mythical creature anymore. So like most of the population of the world has some succubus blood in it, right?
That's right.
And the science is that the more succubus blood that's in a guy, the less tasty their semen
Fluids.
is.
Yeah. Fluids are.
Their fluids are.
Garnt, come on,
Right.
we're on the YouTube here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wake up, gamers, because this video is sponsored by GamerSupps.
As you all know, we've officially partnered with GamerSupps. Why? The powder tastes great, it's cheaper and healthier than other energy drinks, and mixes perfectly.
Garnt, but in all honesty, I'm just here for the amazing selection of waifu cups.
Look at all these beautiful waifus.
Very gamers.
That's how you know how gamer we are. My microphone just came off. As I was saying, all of the waifu cups you see here are limited edition, so you should get them quickly if you think you're a true gamer girl.
These shirts and cups always sell out, so if you want your chance to get your waifu, you have to move fast.
What are you gamers waiting for? Go and get your waifu cups and support the show by using coupon code TRASHTASTE. Buy lots of stuff so we can get our GamerSupps flavor and comment what you think it should be called. I am being held at gunpoint, but it's because I'm a gamer and I play games.
Back to the show, gamers.
And of course, our main guy here is one of one of the 0.1% of the population left.
That is like pure human,
That is
right?
just pure human blood,
yeah,
right? Pure, no succubus blood in this family tree. And of course, the job he is given is to basically just like provide an all-you-can-eat buffet. That's the best way I can provide it.
One man buffet.
One man versus the world.
I mean, I like this one. It was very good. How can you not like this?
This is one of the like least offensive ones. Like,
What guy wouldn't want this? You
Yeah.
just literally you're just a piece of meat, you know? Just
Yeah,
let
yeah.
him just feel
One thing that like, because this artist I feel is probably like the best artist when it comes to drawing blowjob scenes. I mean,
I agree.
this doujinshi in general is just 90% blowjob, right? I think there's like one sex scene in it, and it lasts like 2-3 pages or something, right? It's mostly
It's
like
mostly blowjob.
yeah.
So clearly we know what this artist likes.
This is like, it's like literally the blowjobs you wish you were given. Like this is like, if I could give this manga a summary, it's pretty much that. I mean, yeah. I mean, what is not to like about this? Like I said, like the god tier art positions are fantastic. You
Yep.
know?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay,
stuff.
here's a question. Do you think this would translate well into a hentai?
Yeah, dude. If fucking Pink Pineapple made this, hell yeah, dude. I'm there.
Wait, did this not get a hentai?
No,
No, they got
I-
stay-at-home succubus got one.
Oh, that's
yeah. The other one got
The other one got it.
And
yeah.
I don't know, like what I think wouldn't translate well is that the fucking blowjob scenes here are so intense. I couldn't see it translating well into hentai.
It
Yeah.
might be able to be done. I don't know. Maybe science will advance and we'll get good technology to be able
I
to
don't know,
animate
man.
this.
Like it'd be like a 20-minute BJ scene.
So yeah, they have this story where so they just start fucking him, and then apparently his PP is so good that they're like, we made a website about your dick.
Oh yeah, they made
Oh,
him go
yeah, yeah,
viral,
that's
didn't they? They made him go
They
viral.
were like, oh, by the way, we've put your dick online. Don't worry, by the way, we haven't shown your face. We
Yeah.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, of
gosh.
course.
But your dick's famous now to all the other succubi in the world. And then I'm like, oh, okay, there's more succubus in this world.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they hold an award show, not an award show, like just a
like an idol
like a
handshaking and
yeah,
faking
that's
it.
it.
Like
It's an idol handshake thing where you can
Yeah.
come and instead of handshaking idol, you
Yeah.
can suck the dick.
yeah. So these succubus, they're like hundreds of succubus show up to this handshaking event,
cock-shaking event.
Yeah, where they pay an amount of money to get like 5 minutes to milk the cow, right? that's the best way to describe it, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That was probably my favorite chapter. I'm just like, that was one fucking intense chapter.
Yeah.
Because normally I'm not into like the whole harem angle of it, but it was so like the concept was so overdone and the art was so great and it was just
So
some of the
hot.
scenes were so fucking intense that I'm
Yeah.
just like, yeah, that's hot. All right, that's hot. That's hot.
It's very good. Very good. Very
Very-
good stuff.
Yeah.
Just getting flashbacks.
This is one where it's like if I'm suffering to like pick one for
This is like
the
the
job.
comfort
Yeah,
food.
this is the comfort
Yeah.
food. This is the one that I always go back to.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I picked this one is because, like, out of every doujinshi, if I were to pick one where I'm introducing someone to, like, the world of doujinshi and what it's like, then this one's just like an all-rounder in every category, right?
This is the
It don't miss. It don't miss.
This is the fucking Naruto of hentai, okay? It's the gateway drug, okay? It's the gateway doujinshi,
The code
okay?
kiosk.
I mean, yeah, because like the content, like the tags are so inoffensive, where it's like it's not too weird. Where it's like, oh, I'm not really into that. Like everyone's into fucking BJs.
Like, who doesn't love blowjobs, right?
Who wouldn't want 3 succubuses? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's. I mean, you know.
This is the equivalent. This is such a god. I wish that were me, Doujin.
And it's okay, right? Because it's succubuses, right? So if you nut too early, that's like great. They like that. That's what they want. They want more. Of it.
Yeah.
More for them.
No disappointment. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, what I liked is that they gave context to normally like a hentai protagonist can orgasm like an ungodly amount of times.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they gave it a reason for him to be able to orgasm that amount of times, which is just like if you feed
They
on
have
the
pheromones or something.
they have
Yeah.
they have pheromones, and if you like feed on their spit or something, or
Yeah,
if,
yeah,
if
yeah.
it,
It's
like,
always the saliva.
yeah, if you
thing,
swap
right?
if you swap body fluids, then it's just like this fucking mega aphrodisiac.
Yeah, and the
That-
semen is like an aphrodisiac for the succubi, right? So it's like a twofer.
Never-ending cycle.
Oh god, the perfect system doesn't
And then
exist.
in this story, after they have this whole handshaking event, as I like to call it, they put his face online anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like, come guys, look how amazing this guy is.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, a fucking tsundere lolly shows up, and I'm like, what's all this?
Oh, yeah.
Why are you getting in the way of my hentai? I'm like,
I totally forgot about that.
because I didn't know which one of you did this, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was what tilted it in the end. I was like, fuck. It's gotta
Oh yeah, this bitch. I remember.
Yeah, I remember first reading that, and then she's like, "Hello, I am the mother."
Yeah, and then I was like, it literally the headset meme of like taking the headset off, like, oh, you had it. Why did you introduce a fucking lolly? It was so good.
No, because what's so funny is that she's technically a lolly MILF, right?
It's the both worlds. Everybody wins.
Literally, I wasn't even wearing a headset, but I metaphorically pulled one off for that meme. I'm like, fuck this shit.
Just did the movement.
Fuck. It was so, oh god, it was so perfect. You know, I was enjoying life. It was great. You know, and then this happened, and it ruined it for me.
Like,
It was great.
There's no pleasing. Even with the most inoffensive Doujin, there's no pleasing this man.
I just didn't like, and she got a whole own section. I was like, no one
Yeah.
else got their own section. Why do you get your own section? I mean, they do later on, but at this point, no one else had their own section at this point.
Right.
Why does the fucking lolly who just showed up looking like a fucking brat stall get to have a whole fucking 20 pages? What's this? I don't want this. I'm like fucking speed running this shit, trying to get it over with. Like, when is anything else going to happen? And then luckily it saved itself. It brought out the big guns.
The next chapter,
The next
with
chapter,
the
yeah.
businesswoman.
And then suddenly they introduced, they're like, oh, by the way, there's a union for succubuses. Because of course there is. And they have a headquarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets shipped off to like the fucking UN or something,
Yeah,
right?
the fucking UN of succubuses. He gets shipped off. And then they're like, by the way, succubuses have been stopping wars for generations because we fuck people into submission. So no wars because everyone is happy because we fuck them. And it's like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Of course.
Gotta introduce some world building somewhere,
Yeah,
You
right?
can't have wars if you're fucking, right? Jeez. And then, I really liked that woman. She was great. She was very attractive. I very much liked her.
Because she looks like a mill.
Oh, yeah, she does. I thought she was right up my alley. I was like, this is great.
You do look like an office lady tag kind of
100%.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she was also, she was also like, oh, no, I don't want it. But then she did want it. That's what I like.
Out of context, Connor.
No.
God.
I mean, but it was obvious the whole time that
Yeah,
they were
yeah,
gonna fuck.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
we're in a doujin here. You know.
Wouldn't have been such a Shyamalan twist where they introduce her and she's like, I
Wait,
don't want it. He's like, understandable.
I want to watch a porno where the plumber comes and just fixes something and then just leaves and then she just masturbates. You know, I want that.
That's very
Subvert
avant-garde.
my expectations. You know, give me something. Throw me a curveball. You know, maybe that would have happened.
We're deconstructing porno now,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Do it. Yeah, but I mean, I think I wrote down, I said, this would have been a 10 out of 10 if they didn't have the fucking lolly. The lolly intrusion, as I called it.
The lolly intrusion.
Oh my God.
I wrote the art is God tier. Like, pretty much everything was God tier. I'm not
Yeah.
even fucking around with 8 out of 10. I mean, it was probably my favorite out of all of these in terms of, could I nut to it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
definitely the...
That does not surprise me.
Despite being just pictures, I think I could manage. I think
I-
I could, if I scroll really
The
fast.
first thing I did when I looked at like the list with Garnt in mind is like,
This is going to be Connor's
this is
favorite.
going to be Connor's favorite.
You guys know my taste now. You know
like,
my taste.
I'm like, this man likes vanilla.
Yeah.
This is the most vanilla. He's gonna like this one.
it's not so much vanilla as so much as it's just universally
It's
agreed
inoffensive, yeah.
that this is God tier doujin.
Oh, yeah,
right? It's
100%.
one of the best doujins ever made. Some of the best art ever made. Hasn't yet gotten a hentai adaptation, which I'm just like, how?
No.
How has this not got a hentai adaptation?
I
yet?
would appreciate an adaptation to this. But maybe all the studios are scared.
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
We don't wanna-
it's
we
like a
don't
big
wanna fuck-
IP.
We
They're
don't
like, we don't
want
want
to
to
fuck
fuck.
this up, dude.
And then Queen Bee cracking their nuts.
Dude, if Queen Bee adapts this, I would cry
Let me
so
take
hard.
a shot at this.
Just comes from behind the
No,
tree.
because because what sucks about Queen Bee is that it's like every Queen Bee doujin that seems to get adapted is like a doujin I respect like close to this level, right?
Yeah.
It's a god tier doujin that gets passed around and you're like, brilliant.
Oh,
This looks fucking
course.
fantastic.
I mean, I feel like when I see people in the comments of these websites being like, "Oh God, it's Queen Bee," I'm just like, I don't even know who this doujin is. So I could have never been disappointed.
What
anyway.
is this?
Yeah. And frankly,
I don't even know who you are.
I literally don't even know who you are. So like, it's not a problem. But some of them I still manage. You know, Queen Bee does a good enough job sometimes. Where I can-
Good enough job.
Where I
Good
can
enough.
get the job done. You know,
Yeah.
the task can be complete. But yeah, no, I mean, this is just great.
So,
I highly recommend if you haven't read Doujins, just go read it.
Wow, Connor recommending Doujins?
Wow, what the fuck?
What a wall
You know what I would prefer Queen Bee did actually instead of what they do now. I would prefer that if Queen Bee animated their Doujins or animated their hentai the same way that
animated Doujins are made?
no, kind of like what was that house the Yakuza husband one that got animated?
Oh, Where the House Husband.
Way of the House Husband.
Yeah.
You know, I'd
Like slideshows.
Yeah.
not slideshows, but just like an animated comic. I would actually prefer that style over
Where they just copy each frame.
where they just copy each frame, right?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah, true.
because to me, like a motion comic would give way more of like an impact than whatever the fuck Queen Bee do.
Yeah,
like
true.
please, Queen Bee, please. I can handle that. Just give me a motion.
Call
comic.
me Queen
How
Bee.
much? How much you need? God, like $20? Like,
20 bucks? Yeah, it's your whole
it's
budget.
gotta be. I mean, it's gotta be. Fuck, you know? Yeah, I mean, like, I wrote 8 out of 10 because of lolly, but I'll probably give it a 9. It would have been a 10 out of 10 if there was no lollies. Honest, I'm not joking. That's serious. That kind of took me out of it. That was like whiplash.
Would you be interested in his other works then?
Oh, is this good?
Yeah.
Yeah, this artist is really good.
Most of his work is very blowjob oriented. Like he's just
He
the fucking
sticks to a
blowjob.
theme.
I mean,
sticks to a
I
theme.
always think, you know, blowjob is like the best visually part, like the visually like sexual thing. Blowjob is probably the most attractive looking, I think, when done right.
Yeah.
It's like a what's it, macaron? Those little fucking sweets. You know what I'm going with this? You always see those sweets, right? You're like
the French sweets, right?
comparing blowjobs to
Like-
macarons.
Okay.
Because you look at a macaroon, right? You're like, that looks amazing. That
Yeah.
looks fucking amazing. I really, really want that. And they never, ever, ever taste as good as they look. And that's how I feel about blowjob.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because in fucking
Why?
in hentai,
I can feel the soul.
in hentai, bro, they make it look like fucking WrestleMania SmackDown whirlwind on the dick. It's not like that in real life. It's like, oh shit, ooh, you know,
You've been
No,
getting shit
it's-
blowjobs.
Is that what it's like? That's not what it's.
that's what it looks like in the hentai at least. It's very aggressive. It's very aggressive. But I mean, it's, you know, a lot of work sometimes, you know. Sometimes it's awkward. You just realize that you're just standing there and you're just like, oh fuck, it's awkward, isn't it?
Oh,
it's-
so
it's-
much work, you know.
I mean, it's
So
just,
much
like
work.
sometimes like what's so great about blowjob is that there's literally no pressure to do anything, you know, right? Because you know,
Yeah, but sometimes I get that moment where like I get distracted for 1 second and I get taken out of it. I'm like, fuck, I gotta do my taxes. Fuck. Now I gotta pretend like I'm still there. I'm still in the zone. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck. I really gotta file those taxes though. Fuck. I really forgot about that. Oh god, I can't do it now, can I? That's gonna be really awkward if I go and do those now.
Babe,
Fuck.
can I get my laptop real quick? Just gotta file these taxes.
It's not interactive enough. I'm joking. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
All right.
All right.
Next one.
It was I already know who this one was. This is fucking degenerate.
Which one?
Juunengo no Jinsei
Oh, yeah.
Soudan. Life consultation after 10 years. Okay, be me, guys. Be me. You sit there, right? I only know, right? I only know one thing.
Right.
I know the word oromo. Right? And I know it means incest. Because I know Garnt likes incest for some reason.
guys, as I said before, Orimo isn't an incest anime. It's an
just got
anime.
incest in
Well,
it.
I'm
This
not-
is
I'm
an
not gonna
anime with
lie.
incest anime. This is very much an incest ocean.
I have not watched Oromo. I opened this thing.
Don't worry, you don't have to.
It's literally, I feel like I understand the story of the anime through this.
Yeah.
Which is very concerning because fuck, this is weird.
Whatever you're thinking about is probably what happened in Orimo.
There is so many things in this anime that made me like push my desk chair back a little bit and go like,
Yeah, because this one I saw on the list. I was like, oh, I've never heard of this one. I'll check it
Yeah.
out.
fucking open up. It's just Oromo fan book.
Oh, no. My one just, because I read mine in Japanese.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my one just said Juunengo no Jinsei Soudan. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, this one, you know, sounds interesting. First page is literally just like Kirino with massive tits. I'm like, it's like the biggest, like, all right.
Okay, I knew this one.
You did this to fucking troll, didn't you?
No.
No, you fucking did.
No,
You
no,
can't-
no.
Don't tell me you like this.
This is to me probably the hottest like series doujin I've ever read.
What? Why?
Okay, because like I purposely avoided parodies.
Okay. I thought we
Because if that was the case, I would have recommended like 3 of my favorites are all parodies.
yeah. So this is like the only parody Doujin that is on the list, but
Yeah.
like I didn't know if we were avoiding parodies or not.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to talk about this no
We could
matter
do a
what.
parody episode in future.
And it's like because like most parody Doujins they last for like 1 chapter. They last for like
It's
20
like
pages.
it's like 10, 30 pages.
yeah. This one's an entire fucking story
It
arc.
sounds like 220 pages.
I felt like I was on like a fucking like Big Brother episode, like where this was just fucking never ended. It just never fucking ended.
Not gonna lie.
It
Okay,
just
with
kept getting fucking weirder.
okay,
and
with this
weirder.
one, okay. Admittedly, I don't like Orima, like the show, but I think Orima Doujins are hot as fuck.
yeah.
Right. But here's the thing,
Why?
like this one, because all the characters are hot.
Oh my god.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with this particular one. I've read a lot of Orima Doujins. I've never read this one. This one, I was like, okay. First half, I was like, okay, this got kind of an interesting story. Like, you kind of get to see like the backstory of like the actual characters.
It
of the
gets
show.
real
Yeah.
fucking weird.
And
Yeah.
then second half, like, she just like turns into a yandere.
Yeah, so can you walk me through the story?
Like,
Okay.
what?
Okay.
Because
Let me.
I had to pull up the fucking Armo wiki to understand who the fuck everyone was.
Cliff notes of Orima.
Because it doesn't try and fucking ease you into these characters.
No.
It's like,
No,
it's
no,
like,
no.
you know Armo, you're jacking off to Armo.
There's a, you know why you're
I mean,
reading this.
what? Okay, so to explain the, I guess the basic premise of Orimo as
Okay.
well. So, so Kirino and Kyosuke
Yep.
is the main sibling pair,
Brother and
right?
sister, yeah.
And then all you need to know is also he has a childhood friend who I don't even remember her fucking name.
The glasses girl.
The glasses girl,
The
right.
one who's the wife in this dojo.
yeah.
Not mommy. What the fuck's her name?
God, Natsumi or something?
I'll look it up.
Okay,
I'll
look it up. But basically, those are like all you need to know about the characters in this, right? So in the ending of the original anime, Kirino confesses to Kyosuke that which was like a fucking 180 twist from like everything that was built up before, right? And then they have a few dates together, and then they decide
With his sister.
with his
Yeah,
sister.
yeah.
Which they're not blood related, so whatever.
So it doesn't count, clearly.
This literally, they can't keep getting away with this. The like brother or sister, not blood related. Fuck, man.
Oh, shut up, Connor.
Shut up.
Look, you recommended Mothers No Breasts.
Yeah, exactly.
That's literally a guy and his stepmom. That's just incest with an age gap, Connor.
It's different. It's different.
No. It's not. It's not.
She wed into it. It's a whole it's a different thing. It's
Legally, it's different.
It depends, if it's like the stepbrother, I don't know. I could be like, maybe, but no. But this one's like, they're literally brother and sister, and this is literally just the fucking card they slither in, by the way, not blood related.
God damn it, what the fuck's her name?
What is her name? Just Google.
But this was just fucking weird. So explain the story of this.
Okay, so I'll explain it. Manami. Okay, so this is like kind of like a fan story set 10 years after.
I got that. I understood that.
Yeah, 10 years. That's why it's called 10 years after consultation or something like that, right? So this is set 10 years after the ending of the anime, where it has like a slightly different ending. So in this version, Kirino and Kyosuke sleep with each other, right? And their family finds out, and Kirino just gets fucking banished, right? And they don't see each other for 10 years.
Understandable.
Understandable. Banish the fuck out of it.
Parents doing what parents should do.
Exile your kid if they fuck your sister, I guess.
And so I guess this is set 10 years afterwards, where she comes back and they're both now married. He has married his childhood friend, which is like in the anime, her like Minami is like she's built up as like the plain girl, right? She doesn't really have any special
The
features.
girl that will probably never win.
Yeah, the girl that was never on the winning list to begin with,
Yeah.
but she's built up as just the plain girl. She's the childhood friend, right? And in this version, she's the one that he ended up marrying. And Kirino has also apparently, after 10 years, married someone else as well. And this is the first time they've met after 10 years. and they think, they're kind of like testing the waters to see if, they still have feelings for each other. And it turns
Spoilers,
out
they do.
And it turns out they do, I guess.
Who tests the waters with your brother and sister to see if you still have feelings together? That feels like a very dangerous game. It's like Russian roulette.
Welcome to the incest tag, bro. Literally everything in this tag is that.
What if I just like put my dick in your hand? Let's just see if I get hard.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good test.
Okay.
What if we just fucked? How weird would that be, right?
Okay. So to explain my tastes, right? And to explain what I like, why I thought this was like great. Because for one, most parody doujins, they just it's the most vanilla fucking storyline like ever, right?
Yeah.
It's just, here's these two characters, they sex. You are watching it because it's the characters you recognize. But what I liked about this is that it took the concept of Orimo and it built on it and started its own fucking storyline.
I do appreciate that element.
Yeah. It was like, this was actually a really story-heavy doujin.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't really appreciate that because I didn't know fucking anything about the show.
Yeah.
I was just like, this bitch crazy.
No, I did like the fact that it built on the lore of the original series that it was based off of, but just, it took like a fucking depressing fucking turn.
It was fucking depressing as shit, right?
It's like Kirino turns yandere and then like threatens Kyosuke and then Mamimi gets like raped.
It's like this whole thing just kept getting weirder and weirder. So, be me. I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about this series.
Yeah.
All I know is that he got banished for fucking his sister 10 years ago. And then they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna meet again. Immediately fuck. It's like no fucking downtime.
Yeah, of course.
We just made eye contact, we fucking.
Yeah,
it's
of
like,
course.
Oh, she's like, I don't even love my husband, I love you. And it's like, oh Jesus. Oh,
Well, it's because they both know what they want, right?
Yeah, I just like,
No words necessary.
And I guess for me, if I were to explain my taste, what I find hot is like when a taboo gets broken, right? It's not.
I mean, that's
it's not the incest, okay?
No, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure that's the one reason every person who likes the incest tag says.
But like what I hate about most incest fucking hentai, whatever. It's like one girl says Oni-chan. Incest. I'm just like, get that shit out of here. I don't give a I don't give a shit about that.
So you need the full backstory of their brother and sister love.
Yeah.
To be crushed in front of you.
Well, it's not just between like step siblings, stepmother, stepsons. Like I like, two co-workers who know they shouldn't get together. They get together. That's hot. Like teacher-student relationship. That's pretty fucking hot as well because it's
No, I understand those.
It's like what I find hot is like two characters who know they shouldn't get together, but they're too hot for each other to be able to stop it, and they do it even though they know it's wrong. And I don't know, man. To me, like breaking a taboo is fucking hot.
I totally get that. I think that's hot as well.
Yeah.
But then there's the scene where she just goes loony. Like she just loses her mind.
For every moment I thought maybe this could be hot. There's just something happened where I'm like, God damn it, this is vile. It's so great. It was just like, so there's this whole bit where he's having sex with the girl. And
which girl?
There's only two girls.
There's only two girls, yeah.
Yeah.
The other girl, the boring one, as you said.
The wife.
Minami.
Yeah, and then she pulls out just a strap-on for some reason. It just comes out of nowhere, and it feels like it just felt like the DLC being tacked on at the end. Like it was like this, this was so rushed in, and it happened for like 1 second, and then it was never mentioned again. It was never shown again. She just had it with her.
You know what?
Like, it was just ready to go.
You know what I love about that scene with the fucking strap-on scene where she like puts it into the wife, and she's like, "It's too big," and then he's like, "This is the same size as my big brother's." It's like, was he never? I'm like, was he never serious with you? And I'm like, oh my god, that's a burn. She just got fucking burned.
And the moment this is the moment that like really puzzled me the most. I just didn't understand why.
Yeah.
So he fucks his stepsister or whatever sister and has this whole thing, and they have this thing, and he cheats on his wife, and they cheat on this wife, and they have this whole weird scene where she fucks his wife and stuff. And I don't really get why that's happening. But at the end, she's like, "By the way, I told mom again that we fucked," and I'm like, "Why? Why did you need it? What is she?
Forgot about that.
I completely forgot about that as well.
I was just sitting there, I'm like, did you really need to just tell your mom that you fucked your brother again? What are you trying to achieve
I was just
here?
like,
what is this?
Who
does this?
I read that and I was like, well, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, I was like, well, this just went too far.
Yeah.
This, frankly, your mum is probably just a very nice woman.
Let's be
who just
real.
got dragged into this.
Yeah, let's
Why
be
are you
real.
dragging her?
Your mum didn't need to do this.
Yeah, your mum's getting to an older age. You got to let her live her life peacefully, knowing that you were a good son
Just
and daughter.
like, BT Dubs, mom. Fuck my bro.
And then just leaves. And then leaves.
Peace.
It's like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Why did you do this? I just couldn't fathom it. It's like you don't see this in the, you know, when you go on fucking, I don't know, one of these porn websites, Bang Bros or whatever, and it's the whole mum versus son step.
Mum versus son step.
There's not a whole scene at the end where like, okay, son, I'm gonna tell dad now. You know, I don't want to see that shit. Don't include that shit because I already feel guilty enough for this shit. Don't include.
Clearly, this was supposed to be depressing, right?
It's meant to be a depressing doujin.
Really?
Which is,
Yeah.
which
It's
is
like if it was like scat porn, they're like, right, let's do 10 whole pages where they clean it up. Like, no, let's not do that.
The aftermath.
It's like, get the cling filled bams, get the bleach, we'll clean this place. No, I don't want to see this shit. This felt totally unnecessary. Why was this in the story? Like, you felt like you had to wrap it up. How does this wrap it up in any way?
But to be
You're
honest,
making more problems.
To be honest, after like right before that whole
could
thing
end
happened, no, right before that whole thing ended, in my head I was like, how are they going to end this? And then
They do that.
and then that happened. I'm like, well, I mean, that's an ending, I guess. That's not the correct answer.
the ending was a bit weird. Well,
that was a bit weird.
Yeah.
I mean, like the reason I really like this doujin was because like the first two chapters, like when it started getting a bit NTR-y, I'm just like, you're kind of losing me here.
They had us in the first half.
yeah, they got us in the first half.
It was because to me the first half was so fucking well done that I'm just like, okay, I'm always going to remember this.
The art
because
was very good.
I mean, the art was good, but to me it was the story.
Art
that
was good, and
really
the way
fucking
that they
good.
broke down the lore was really good.
Because it's so fucking rare for me to find like hentai and doujinshi that actually give a shit about the story.
Yeah.
Right? Because like most, like when you think of like, for example, most brother sister hentai, it's the most like simple shit.
It's
know?
like sister comes in, wakes up brother. Oh
Yeah.
no, you're hard. I guess I'll suck you off now.
And I'm just like that's
Doujin over.
yeah, that's exactly. I'm just like
that's literally
I'm just
every
like
instance.
who gives a shit about that?
Yeah,
I'm like
it's like, cool.
Okay, no, I got a perfect thing. I need spice with my hentai. Okay. Surprise, surprise.
Incest,
Surprise, surprise.
Incest is not spice, God. Incest has never been spice. It's illegal.
I mean that's why it's always fucking step siblings in hentai, right? They never go the full fucking they never do the full Monty, right? Step siblings,
You'd be surprised.
stepmother.
You'd be surprised.
Okay, that's not the shit I watched.
Joey's like, I can name a few.
I can name.
I'll tell you what
I
it
can
is.
name like 10 off the top of my head.
I'll tell you what, the reason every hentai does it is because it's like that disclaimer that goes on like the beginning of every YouTube video. It's like, this YouTube video is fair use. Copyright. This video is protected under fair use. These siblings are not, Your Honor, these siblings are simply step siblings. It is not illegal.
They are not blood related. They are just drawings. Just in case you didn't hear me the first time, this episode is sponsored by GamerSupps.
Did you buy anything yet? Why didn't you buy anything yet? But after you've bought your GamerSupps, which you've already done because you watched the first promotion and already bought them, that's right, yes you did. But once it arrives at your door, you'll notice that GamerSupps is not chalky at all.
And there's no chemical aftertaste. Did you know that? You should, because you've already bought GamerSupps.
You need GamerSupps. Get this shit into me!
GamerSupps is 0 calories, 0 carbs, and is non-glycemic, so it doesn't touch your blood sugar, making it diabetic and keto-friendly. No bullshit, just 100 milligrams of organic caffeine from green coffee beans and essential vitamins to keep me focused throughout my gaming period.
God, I'm gaming so much right now. Guys, I have a recommendation. Might I recommend their newest flavor, waifu candy, in my favorite new waifu cup.
GamerSupps Waifu Cups for the perfect marriage between weebs and gamers.
That's a terrible slogan. We're not using that. Back to the episode. I am just playing devil's advocate because, you know, it's very easy to make someone who says, I like incest look bad. So it's very fun.
I mean, I don't know why it's so surprising when you're talking about Garnt, I love domestic girlfriend Gigak, you know. I mean,
The man knows his taste, man. What can I
know
say?
my taste. Okay.
I respect that.
Yeah, because to me, like I said, breaking taboo, that is my taste. Unfortunately, it's so fucking hard because 99% of hentai, when it comes to like breaking taboo, are just like the most depraved NTR shit you can find on like
Why
God's
is that shit
green
so
earth.
nasty? Why
I
is it so
don't know.
nasty?
I don't
Why
know.
is there so much of it?
So many people are into it, man. I don't
It's
get
like,
it.
you know, I go, you know, you go on like the hentai releases, and nowadays it's like 60 to 70% of it is just NTR garbage.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't nut to this.
Yeah.
Who's
like
this?
all,
The majority of Japan is not into it, apparently.
all I want to fucking see is two people who know they shouldn't be together, but just, you know, for like one
Cheeky
fucking
little rule break.
have like a cheeky Nando's, you know, have a cheeky little blowjob here and there, you know, fucking, you know, have one or two hot nights and then
Mom
just
doesn't need to know.
and then just call it a day. Unfortunately, hentai takes us as let's rip someone's life into pieces while we do this.
That's what I wasn't fond of with this one. They
Yeah.
were like, I'm just gonna tell mom. That part really fucked me up. I was
No.
Why would you do that?
The part that made the least sense to me was just like Kirino was just like, I've left now, I've fixed their marriage. I'm just like, in what way have you fixed their fucking marriage?
It's the matchmaker.
I fixed their marriage by literally getting my brother to fuck me all over his house. Every part of his house.
We've had like a threesome where we're just not going to be able to talk about for years. I'm not going to be able to look at my wife in the eyes for like years to come. Jesus, imagine if we have kids. Like, what the fuck?
I love how after that like fucking intense threesome scene and like Kirino leaves, there's just like this monologue of Kyosuke being like, Manami and I talked it out. We're mending our wounds. I'm like, oh, it's that easy, is it? Oh shit. All right, cool.
It just be like that.
It just be like, we just talked it out, you know.
It's like, babe, I know I kind of just fucked my sister and fucked you at the same time. But I think we can work. But I think we can work through this, right?
Happy wife, happy life, right?
She's like, yeah, I'm glad. This is like never happened before, right? Looney Tunes ending.
This is just a phase, right? Yeah, it's just a phase. Yeah, totally.
Like, it just happened one time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The DNA test results have come in.
Because like when you see cheating in hentai, normally it's like you're like the person is cheating against this fucking faceless dude that you don't see, right? It's like
I'm not a fan of it. The character having an active part in the story.
Yeah,
you know what
I mean that's the difference between cheating and NTR, you know.
Yeah.
And like even fucking Kirino's husband comes back at this, even though he's like a faceless fucking guy and just beats the shit out of Kyosuke. Like, where did that come from?
I love that.
And he was just
I
like,
love the ending scene too because he gets absolutely the shit kicked out of him, and Kyosuke's just like, worth it.
he's like, right, I'm still protecting Kirino. I'm just like, what is going on here?
How did you think that would go? Huh?
But yeah, the reason this is one of my favorite series, like parody doujins of all time, is because of the first two chapters. The first two chapters, 10 out of 10
Hot as fuck.
That is my exact taste.
I'm not gonna lie. One thing that really did put me off, I did make a note of this. I'm like,
okay,
why is she being like, he get me pregnant, but then be like, oh no. That was really fucking weird. Can we admit that that's kind of weird?
Wait.
Like, okay,
Yeah,
cheating with your stepbrother is really pushing it in what I could accept to be like, oh, it's hot.
Yeah,
but then being like, she's like, make me pregnant. Literally the first time she meets, and I'm like, what am I supposed to think? What am I supposed to think hearing this shit? Am I supposed to be like, yeah, that's hot, dude. Impregnate your sister. That'll show them. That'll show everyone.
I think this is you saying this now. I think this just shows that I've just been so desensitized. This is just like a complete, like, because I feel like that's just the fucking that's just a default in a lot of hentai, right? There's always that one panel in every hentai where it's just like, make me pregnant, or I'm going to become pregnant.
I am trying to be supportive of my friend's taste here, and I'm reading this, and I want to be like, good for Garnt, But then, like, it's literally, again, the amount of times I'm going to reference the fucking headset meme where he just rips it off. It's like, I'm trying to get into this, and she's like, make me pregnant. I'm like, fuck, why? What do you mean?
I think it's just because sometimes your tastes are like my tastes are like so specific that it's kind of like I'm willing to look over some of like the weirder shit or the weirder aspects in some hentai if there's like this aspect that is done like ridiculously well,
You sound like someone who's like desperately digging for good hentai after you've had it all. You're like, I need to see something.
I need to feel something.
I'll forgive the weird fucking shit just for a crumb of good blowjob art.
If it scratches, scratches that one tiny itch, that's all I need. That's all I need.
This was fucking weird. I did give this one a 3 out of 10.
3?
Honestly,
wow.
there was very few moments where I was like, this is hot. And there's so many moments where I'm like, fucking hell. fuck? Like, I don't even smoke, and I wanted a smoke break after this.
Oh yeah, this is a doujin you read, and you're like, I need a fucking smoke.
I don't even smoke, and I was like, fuck, I need a cigarette. Just like fucking look out my window and just be like, fuck.
The 1,000-yard
but
stare.
I feel like to me that's what makes a great doujin. Like if it can fucking affect you in some way, then that means at
If
least
it changes your life.
no, that means
that's a good
at
doujin.
least it's doing something right, right? It's making you feel something, right?
Cool.
My dick's so numb, I'm just waiting for something to happen. It doesn't matter what. Disgust anything. I'll make it work. Like anything.
My dick is numb, but my heart aches.
3 out of 10. What did you give this one, Jay?
I don't know. I weirdly enjoyed this one.
Yes! Fuck yes!
Yeah,
oh my god.
This is why, we need a me on this podcast to balance out the fucking degeneracy that we have over here.
Yeah,
This is how I know Joey's a brother.
I weirdly enjoyed this one. I give this like it's probably a 7 or an 8.
yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Story's spicy, man.
Again,
it's a spicy
again,
ass story.
I don't know. This is not spice. Literally, the word spice went out the window when he told her fucking mom. That was when I was like, this is not spicy.
Dude, that's like the last fucking panel.
Oh my
You should have already nutted by then. You don't give a shit about.
I don't want to also. I don't want to get post-nut clarity and then also find out afterwards he told the mom.
Yeah,
and that's like the biggest whiplash of post-nut clarity.
that-
You'd be like, oh god, oh Jesus.
That's not spice. That's like a Carolina Reaper to the eye. It's like, ah!
Oh god, John, what would you give this 1 out of 10 then for you personally?
9.
Oh my god.
The good parts were so good that I'm just like it's the most unique parody doujin I've read so far in terms of
I agree.
building on a premise and being able to like take this premise in an anime and just make a hot situation out
Just
of it.
the dildo burn did it for me. Like that was hilarious.
yeah.
That was fucking hilarious.
I respectfully disagree.
Alright.
Moving on.
The next one was Peace Hame. What does that mean in Japanese? Peace Hame.
Hame means to fuck, and peace is peace.
Oh, peace fuck.
Peace fuck.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So the premise of this one was a strange one.
Okay.
There was like, I guess, kind
Well,
of
whose do you think it is, first of all?
yours.
Yeah.
I thought it was yours. This seemed very much like a you thing.
Yeah.
But I also really, really liked the plot to this one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
Right?
the plot.
I
thought it was
love
a
this
very,
plot.
Yeah, this is a very good plot.
The plot was good.
So, okay, first of all, I did read I was very, very confused because it came with like a prequel.
Yeah, that's like the YouTube hook, right?
Right.
Where you have like a few pages to hook in the reader.
Where it
Right.
was just like a bunch of girls who had been taking photos of who are naked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was very confused. And then when I started reading it, I almost forgot for a second. I was reading a doujin because I thought I was about to get some kind of sick fucking epic doujin about kendo. And, like kendo fighting. And it very quickly became not that.
Yeah.
I like just for a second, I totally forgot that I was reading porn. And
Yeah.
that I thought I had
So it's just like a
escaped.
regular
I
manga?
thought I
Yeah, yeah.
escaped into a regular manga. You know, there was this. So you have this little, the Chad woman who is this amazing kendo player, very
Yeah.
attractive, very beautiful, and like the simp guy who's like this very tiny, very wimpy looking character.
Yeah.
And then for some reason during the story, she's like, "Oh, please, can you help me with something?"
Yeah.
And obviously, the wimpy character is like, "Yes, of course, I'll help you." So they go to the office, and there's the guy who's in charge of the kendo club, who's engaged to the hot
girl. Yeah.
Is he a student? I don't know if that's
Yeah,
clear.
he's a student.
But he's literally built like a motherfucking whale on steroids. Like this man is absolutely. This man is
9
like
feet tall.
That's generous. Like 15 feet tall, muscular, and he's like, this is my fiance.
Yeah.
By the way, I need you to take photos of all the women at the school.
All the graduates, right?
All the graduates naked,
Yeah,
lewd,
yeah.
being fucked, anything. And then there's just so many quotes in this are just very funny to me because and then he's like, oh, is that the little wimpy character's like, oh, is it okay that we take sexual photos of the girls? It's like, oh yes, all the girls have given their consent to this. Literally, they're extra down. Really?
Yeah, because it's a long-standing tradition in the school,
Yeah, it's, like,
right?
it's a long-standing tradition. I'm like, this is like some YouTuber cancel bait in the world. How is this?
This is a tweet longer waiting to blow up, man.
How does this become a long-standing? I want to know that backstory. Who started this? How did everyone just come to
This is a
gradually?
TW
How did
grooming.
everyone give consent?
Yeah, how
Is
did
there like
everyone just
I
accept
feel like
this?
this needs to be like a signed form or something
I
like.
really really want to know more of the story, there must be an ironclad contract to this. With release waivers
signed
out
by
the
blood.
ass.
Yeah.
There's so many funny. They have given their okay to this. That's what they say.
What I appreciate about this doujin is that I always appreciate a doujin when it takes more than 20 pages to get to the fucking.
Yeah.
Right?
I appreciate that a lot about this.
Because
I
like,
literally experienced 2 hours of just the worst shit. I read the Armor one before this. I was begging for something that wasn't fucking awful.
Okay.
So this was a breath of fresh air.
Because the difference between a parody doujin and an actual doujin is that parody doujins, if you're a fan of the show or
skip
the
the plot.
series, you can skip the context because you know the context.
Yeah.
You can build on top of that.
Yeah.
But like the real challenge with just a plain doujin is
Original
that
stuff, right?
original Takabon or whatever is that they need to build up your investment into the story by itself with no pre-investment
Yeah.
to any franchise or whatever. And normally that takes a long time. And I can appreciate when he went like 40 pages, he went like a whole chapter, I think.
Almost,
With
yeah.
no fucking. And I'm just like, respect. Respect.
Restraint. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, one thing I really liked about this one is that, like, the whole, I guess, point is that, like, obviously he's gonna fuck the main girl,
Yeah.
but they hold off on it for so goddamn long.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Wait, so did
Yeah.
you read this whole thing?
No, I read about nearly two stories. So like
Two
the fir-
chapters?
Yeah, the first chapter was like 150 pages.
No, it wasn't.
There's like 6 parts to this.
There was, if you're thinking of the 500 page one, those are 16 chapters put together.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it was when I looked on the website, it said 6 stories or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
I mean, I read up until like
How many pages?
Which
Oh my
which
God.
goal did you get to? Which one
I
was
think
the
he
last
actually fucked the girl,
Okay, you got further than me then.
which is like I think it's like 200 pages in.
Yeah.
But then there's still like 400 more after that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't understand. But I was still like, all right, this story's pretty hot because the whole premise is that he has to then go and he's recruited. This
He's doing his job.
Yeah.
this wimpy kid is recruited to take all the naked and lewd photos.
Yeah.
You know, and if he has to help to get the photos done, he does.
Yeah.
So he just starts fucking everyone.
As you do.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the hustle. You know,
Yeah,
I was like, you know what? Good for him. This is,
He was
tickle the-
scared at first, but then he gets more and more confident,
Yeah,
right?
it ticked all the boxes. It was like consensual, attractive, kid coming into his own, getting pussy. Good for him.
Yeah.
Good. I was rooting for him. I was,
It's a coming of age story.
yeah, and I thought it was very attractive that she was watching the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giving moral support. Who doesn't want that?
I love the scene where she just like comes around, grabs his dick, and is like, "You got this."
Yeah. It was like IRL Twitch chat. It's like,
Yeah.
with fucking, it's like, Pog, go in, Pog, take the photo.
take the
She
photo,
looked on
do
there. Hey, it's good
Yeah.
fun. I don't know. This was just good.
I'm surprised you like this one because
I'm surprised you like this one as well.
Really?
Yeah.
This didn't seem okay because this one.
I like the long game. I like that they were reserved with a lot of things.
Because
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one is one of my favorite Doujins, like of all time.
Yeah.
The art style threw me off a little bit in the start.
It's unique, isn't it?
But then I got into it. I was like, you know what? I
yeah.
fuck with it.
That's exactly how I felt.
And then, because obviously you can't just have the gimmick of he goes to take picture, he fucks them. It's
Yeah.
not get old.
Yeah.
So then they start introducing like these fucking battles.
Yeah, that's what I liked as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah,
When
yeah.
I'm
I
just
was
like,
this is so fucking dumb, but I'm here for it.
The betting battles, right?
Yeah.
So like bet on something. And
Yeah.
so the first bet is that he has to choose what he thinks is her favorite volumes of her like lewd outfits. Am I correct?
Yeah. So she's like a gravure model
Yeah.
who does like sexual stuff, and she's
Yeah.
like pick two things that I consider my best works, and he's like easy game.
yeah.
And then if you pick them, I'll fuck
I was
you.
already a super fan anyway.
And he's
you know?
like, if you lose, you throw out all of your porn. If you win, you get to fuck me.
And he gets to fuck her, so congratulations. And then there's
Spoiler alert.
there was another one where they did like wishbone breaking.
Oh yeah.
And-
With the grass. That's like a really old Japanese game.
Yeah, and then he wins, and then this 20-foot kendo man is like, he's so powerful. He's won 2 betting games. This kid's good. And it's like
we need more photos.
he literally guessed Doujins and then played Wishbone, a luck game. What do you mean?
yeah.
Like, and it's just like, he might get all the photos this year, implying that some of them don't want their photos taken, which is like, I was like, oh, that's a little weird, but I'll forgive it. I'll forgive that. But it was
Go.
Some of the later chapters, it does become like that.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what, fair enough. It was, I see the vision.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate the execution.
What-
all around good fun for the family.
What I love about
Cheers.
cheers.
Cheers
Cheers to that.
Cheers
Oh,
to that.
cheers
Cheers
to
to
that.
that.
Cheers to consensual. For the most part, I think. I didn't get far enough.
I'm sad you didn't make it to like the pretty much like the finale or like the epic
might-
part.
I might in future.
The epic
Yeah.
because there's like a whole there's like 3 chapters.
Sell me on it.
where there's 3 chapters where the wimpy kid, the main character, fights the student council brick shithouse in a wrestling match.
Okay.
I knew that's what they were building up.
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
very obvious that was going to be the final
And
showdown.
while that's happening, all of the girls that he's fucked are getting like gangbanged by the entire school. And he's like, if you want to stop this, beat me in a wrestling match. And I was just like, what?
After reading all of Joey's recommendations, I like figured out Joey's tastes. Like he recommends a doujin. If there's a panel on it with more than like 8 tits in one panel, that's a Joey.
True.
That's a Joey
True.
doujin.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I'm mad that you're right.
The more the merrier, you know?
But like what I love about a story and a doujin like this is when like they introduce the one winning girl at the beginning, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the hottest. You know,
Oh,
she's-
100%.
Yeah,
she's the hottest,
I don't know how like doujin artists they just know. They
There's
know I'm gonna make this girl the hottest.
There's
And-
something about a supporting girl
Yeah.
that you can't help but root for.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, she is just helping. She's just doing her part.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
Literally.
It's like they must have like a talent to be able to like make a girl that is like just radiates best girl energy, right? Like
100%.
they just radiate best girl energy, and everyone just unanimously agrees that this is best girl, and every girl is just like the losing girl.
Dude, honestly, Shiwasa Okina, who's the artist, he's like fucking amazing at that. Because all of his other ones, he always introduces this like beginning girl.
Yeah.
And whether like she gets fucked in the beginning or right at the end, she's always ends up being the best girl.
Because throwback to the hentai episode, the one thing that I did like about that one thing that you picked, even though I didn't particularly...
Which one?
The one that was like the Edo era Japanese.
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
mythical
yeah.
one. I was like,
there's the one.
I at least like the fact that they took 3 episodes to build that shit up before
Yeah.
they fucked, you know?
Yeah.
I like it when they tease you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because... You know, you can go on fucking Pornhub and you can skip 2 minutes in and you're already at the fucking meat of it.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I like it when they make you wait for it. Sometimes it's like you making me feel like these characters are worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when they immediately put their pants down and these fucking 2 other women, I'm like, I'm not invested.
Exactly.
You've lost me.
You know,
It's a no from me.
Yeah.
I like being able to wait to see the best girl.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm impatient,
Yeah.
but I'm patient.
I'm also impatient. Sometimes I'm just like, let's just skip to episode 5 and let's just see it. Okay, but I feel like the best times is like when there's a reason to turn the next page. There's a reason to like watch the next episode.
Yeah.
Like it's like Metal Gear Solid. The best is yet to come.
I don't consider the plumber turning up a riveting story
Yeah.
worth me turning the fucking page.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
I'm
nice-
invested. What part of the house is he gonna fix?
Oh shit! Is it there? Which kind of clog is it? I'm fucking hyped to see which kind of clog. Is it a
I want to
grease?
see all the size wrenches he
Is it
has.
a grease clog or a fucking toilet paper clog? I can't wait. You know, I mean, it's. I think that's the one thing that at least I can appreciate about the Doujin is that you can kind of almost, if there's a story, you can kind of read it in your own pace and you can kinda get
Yeah.
the feel for it that you want. I can respect that. I wish that I could read it. And then the moment the fucking starts, I'm like, turn on the hentai version.
Yeah.
Well, this one actually does have a hentai.
yeah, I was
adaptation.
about to say this one does have an
You
entire
say
adaptation.
that, is it bad? It sounds bad.
It's Queen Bee.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
All right, I'm actually curious about
All
your
right, see you
opinion.
later, boy.
I'm
Okay.
actually curious about your opinion now that you're going to go from like a doujin to an
Okay.
adaptation
Yeah,
of
I'll
that
watch
it.
doujin.
Because
That you
there's-
enjoy,
Because
because-
there's another one by Shiwasa Okina that I was debating on whether to recommend called Nudist Beach, which is
I love the nudist speech, the hentai. It's great.
yeah, that's
I like that
same
one.
guy.
Yeah, I like that
Yeah,
one.
that's
Yeah.
like, and the Doujin version is like one of my favorites and also Kaho's favorite.
Oh,
Yeah,
And we like
yeah.
bonded over that. But like, I was like, do I recommend it? But like, Peace Hame just has a better story, in my opinion.
I like the story a lot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I know you like stories. so.
With Nudist Beach, I was, when I watched that originally, I was like, you know what? You know when you watch something, you just know this is popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just watch it. I'm
yeah.
like, I know this. I don't know anything about hentai or doujin community and what the fuck they get up to, but
Yeah.
I watched that and I'm like, I bet this is famous as fuck.
Yeah.
Just from
Yeah.
watching this, I'm
Yeah.
like, this shit is too good.
Who adapted Nudist Beach again?
Queen Bee.
No, it wasn't. It was good adaptation though.
Was it? I thought it was Queen
No,
Bee.
I swear I watched that and it was good.
I don't think it was Queen Bee.
Really?
either.
I
Yeah.
swear it was a good adaptation.
Okay,
I swear it was.
Let's see.
But I gave this one. What did I give this one? I gave this one a 9 out of 10.
Really?
Genuinely, I dig the story.
Honestly, that's really surprised me. I thought you would hate this one.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
Look
to
at us.
that.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Recommending each other.
We are 2 for 4, I think.
2 for 4.
2 for 4 right now.
We're slowly converting him. I'm
not going to say I'm going to go home and read this shit, or it's my preferred.
Yeah,
method.
yeah,
But
of course.
if you're going to sit here and force me to read this shit, I'll say
Okay,
that's good.
here's a question then. Like, if you had just experienced this through the hentai, would you have watched through the story?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
I mean, most hentai I watch through the story.
Really?
Because it's like 19 minutes. It's not a big ask.
That's the most uncommon thing I've heard
right.
Because,
in the
you know,
history of this podcast.
As well, okay. You know when you, I don't know if you do this, right? Okay, I gotta ask. When you're you're doing your business or something.
Yeah.
If you finish your business
Yeah.
and there's like 6 minutes left, do you just save it for another time, the rest 6 minutes, or do you just keep watching it to see what else happens?
Save it.
I save it.
Yeah, me too.
My man!
My man!
I'm like, this was so good that I don't want to spoil the rest.
Yeah.
I'm a
I've
revisit
never
this.
connected you on such a spiritual level before until you just said that moment.
It takes restraint, but I'm like, you know what? No, I could skip
Yeah.
ahead and find the best part.
Yeah.
But no.
No,
You know
no,
what?
wait.
This is
This
good
is
enough.
fresh content for
Connor?
the next time.
Connor, I agree.
Holy shit! God agrees with me.
Pog!
Because you don't want to spot. You get so limited. You know, I've realized with hentai, it is literally like, you know, it's like mining for diamonds in Minecraft. You just don't get it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You don't get the good shit. So
It's like when you find a good shit, when you find one of the good shit, you gotta save that
yeah,
shit,
there's
man.
like 10 hentai that I could be like, you know what, these are probably my favorite that I can revisit.
Yeah.
But like they never come around because we have so much goddamn NTR. It's awful. And then the moment we don't get NTR, you know, as much as I can work with Queen Bee, but I don't like it where every single non-NTR is Queen Bee. It
Yeah,
feels like,
honestly.
what is happening here? Can we not do this for 10 seconds?
Because just imagine me when I go onto just like a regular hentai website and I see Peace Hame episode 1. I was like, my time has come. My favorite hentai's finally
when did
been
they come out?
adapted.
When did they come out?
The Doujin or the hentai?
Oh, the hentai.
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's quite old.
Quite recent.
I mean, I wonder. I'm like, is Japan just ahead on porn? Like, are they speed running it? Is this where all porn is going to go to, where everyone in the world is going to be NTR fans?
God, I don't
Like, 'cause
know.
I
I really
feel-
fucking hope not.
Because I feel like they're like 5 stages ahead of like fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
rest of the
Yeah.
world.
I mean,
So
it's
wonder,
because Japan just accepts any kind of fucked up hentai, right?
is this what the world is going towards? Are we just all going to be NTR
because
fans?
it's art.
Yeah, are we all going to be NTR fans in 20 years?
Here's the thing. There's obviously someone out there watching NTR. Oh, fuck.
A lot of people.
a lot of people.
I actually know someone. I just...
Sydney.
Well, there you go. Point taken. Oh, you
But this
literally
is the thing: is that it is like
you literally just proved your own point.
you know, NTR, you know, sometimes is attractive. You know, I will admit there are 1 or 2 where I'm like, you know what, they had me in the first time.
That's not all bad.
Which ones?
But I can't remember off the top of my head. There have been 1 or 2 where I'm like, you know what, this is good. But then I'm like, it's NTR though. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Because I'm like, you know what? Like, does vanilla really have to die? Because I feel like vanilla is the minority of hentai that we get now. It's very rare
is.
where you just get they like each other. There's no cheating. There's no sibling rivalry. Oh my god! What?
I think it's because in the context of
I do that.
Japanese. I think it's because in the context of Japanese audiences
cheating,
who read
yeah.
it, it's like, why would I read this when I could just have it myself?
Exit out though.
Okay,
on
that-
that.
but like with your vanilla thing, do you count, for example, step siblings or step parent, stepmother, whatever? If there's no other complications other than them for some reason just being step siblings or stepmother, is that vanilla to you?
I'd say yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
that-
pretty vanilla. I mean, that's probably the most vanilla you can get nowadays. Really.
Yeah, I mean,
Or like childhood friend or something, right?
Because the thing is, it makes it even rarer,
I
right?
mean,
Because
literally, you go on any porn website now,
Yeah.
it is literally all stepmom. Everything. Everything is stepmom.
Really?
It's
Are you sure, or is that just the shit you look up?
No. I kid you not. You go on this shit, and all the most viewed shit is all stepmom.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is happening?
finally, my
here for
time
it.
to shine.
I'm here for it. But like, when did this happen?
I don't know when it happened, right?
You know, right? Like, you see
think,
it too.
I think. Wait, Malin, can you search up some of the most searched terms on Pornhub? Like, because I guarantee, I think stepmoms. Okay, Ashley,
Yeah,
you do it.
Ashley, do it.
I think it's either top 3 or top 5.
Because
Stepmom is up there.
What happened? Because I swear, like 5-6 years ago, lesbian porn was always number 1.
Yes.
It was never dethroned.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, in like the space of 2 years, all the fucked up shit goes to the top. What happened in those 2? Is this coronavirus where people are like, I guess NTR's pretty good, huh?
I'm looking up the most popular tags for Doujins right now, and would you believe that MILF is in the top 20?
I mean,
Top
I hope
20.
so. I hope so.
But
yeah.
you know what's directly on top of that?
What?
Incest.
It's concerning. No, this is not a celebratory moment.
I will take
This is
my
not a-
crown right now.
No.
Oh, but then you know what's...
Fellow degenerates, rise up! Degenerates, rise up!
Man, there are some, like... Oh my god. Number 10 is Shotokan.
Actually, you're literally looking on Pornhub. Just search top. Just
Oh my
search
God.
top. Just search top Pornhub.
you don't
search.
gotta
Actually,
open a
your boss
Pornhub.
is sitting right next to you, and you're on Pornhub.
For the record, she told me to do it.
Maylene!
Maylene, what are you doing? Stop corrupting Ashley like this.
What if the most searched terms are like in the top?
It's literally, they do it like a survey.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do a survey.
they do a survey.
They literally do a survey and like a.
All right. Speaking of Shotokan, should we get on to the next one?
Yeah, sure. Let's get on to the next one.
Seikatsu Shuukan.
Okay, wait.
Do you want to know? For 2019, number 1 was amateur, number 2 was alien.
No, those were the those were the search that
Search
defined
terms. No,
search terms. Search terms. There. That's what you're going for.
So search terms, Japanese.
Japanese number 1.
Number 2 is hentai. Number 3 is lesbian. Number 4 is MILF.
Hentai's above lesbian now?
What? What's number
That's
5?
like, oh no, it's,
Number 5 is
Milk.
Korean.
I would say Korean.
I
Oh,
swear
okay.
it's like nearly, like you go on these websites, it is like Russia driving half of this shit.
Wait,
at the same
where's
time.
Stepmom up there?
7.
Okay, that's
Stepmom and MILF though. Stepmom and MILF are normally very like closely.
yeah.
But also, dude, if you look at it, the amount of people in Russia that watch hentai is insane.
Really?
Hentai is massive in Russia. It's insane.
Fuck, I need to move to Russia.
Bro, Putin's like, put Mother Knows Best on my 90-inch OLED TV. While I jack off on my Italian leather couch.
On my polar bear rug.
So yeah, the next one
Yeah,
is Seikatsu Shuukan.
Yeah.
I'm near certain Garnt recommended this one.
it was me.
Are you? I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it right now, boys.
Yeah.
I like the hentai version of this one.
Yeah,
I'm
the
not gonna
hentai
lie.
version is fucking
Because-
great. Yeah.
Dude, you can't. The animation alone, if
God tier.
in the hentai version of this is so goddamn
God
good.
tier.
And I was so confused when I opened this doujin because I was like, "What is this story in the start?
Yeah.
This is the shit story. Get to the story I know.
Yeah, the good,
the good
one.
story.
Yeah.
Because the first story is just like
Yeah, this is like a collection of stories.
it's like is it 2 stories?
It's like 2 or 3 stories. I
Okay,
think.
so
Yeah.
there's 2 stories in this. It's Seikatsu Shuukan, and I think it's. So the first part is like a teacher who fucks their student story.
Yeah.
And like this teacher is not very charismatic, very creepy, very rapey, really
Yeah.
weird. You know, you get introduced to this girl, and she's a little concerned. You know,
Yeah.
she's like, "Why are all the guys looking at my big, you know, big
Big
badonkadonks?"
badonkers.
And you know, and this teacher's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll help you. I'll help you get used to them.
Yeah.
Because if you don't care about it anymore, no one's gonna look at them." And I'm like,
Genius logic.
I'm like, okay. And so he's like, "Oh yeah, just take your bra off in front of me so you can get more used to showing them off." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh god, all right, it's one of these." Because it's just like it's really rapey and like, because you did recommend the next one that we'll talk about is the
Yeah.
teacher one. I think that's done much more tastefully than this
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
shot.
yeah.
Not a fan of this one shot.
Yeah,
at
the
all.
one shot I
Yeah.
didn't really want you to care
Well, the
about.
one shot was like 100 pages
It was
long, though.
long.
It was long.
just because it's like, and this is the thing that I hate about hentai. But this happens all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
Let me see it. Okay, one trope that I really am not fond of in hentai is where the girl is like, "No, oh my god, please don't," and like they're clearly being, I mean, you know, sexually assaulted, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they start doing it, and they're like, "Oh wait, I like this now," and I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. Why haven't you bought GamerSupps yet? What is going on?
Did you not know that this episode was sponsored by GamerSupps?
We've said it 3 times now, and you haven't bought GamerSupps
The
yet.
coupon code is trash taste. What are you doing?
We're not wearing the shirts for nothing.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, I don't even know who to blame anymore.
Do we not convince you enough?
Are we not gamer enough for you?
Have you not tried their newest flavor, waifu candy? It's delicious. What's wrong with you guys?
Come on, look at these waifus. Look at all these beautiful waifus that you can choose from to get your gamer juice from. Come on, gamers.
They have free samples.
They have free samples.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Thank you, Raymond.
Guys, I know you haven't clicked the link yet, and that's fine. That's fine. You know, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. But maybe this will entice you. Joey, tell them what it is.
Okay. Did you know the first 5,000 people to click the link, add the samples to their carts, and check out with code FREE will get free samples delivered to them? No bullshit.
That is the last chance. This is your last chance. I'm telling you now.
What am I, your mom? Go buy GamerSupps.
Your mum will love these cups.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. If you don't click the link right now.
Click the link in the description down below.
Back to the episode.
Generally, did not enjoy this teacher fellow. I thought he was a little bit rapey.
A little unpleasant.
Yeah.
And like I think I said this in the hentai episode, not really fond of that kind of stuff. To me, it's just like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, I'm going to teach you how to be more comfortable with your boobs. I'm like, are you really? Yeah. Are you sure about that?
Did you say like the name of the doujin? Because I'll tell you, the name of the doujin is Abstinence Club. At least the first story arc, right? Yeah. Which is, it's obviously nothing about abstinence.
There's no abstinence to be found here.
It's quite the opposite.
These
are not good Christian girls. You know, that's not what we're talking about here.
And there's two things that personally I'm not really fond of, or I'm like, whatever, that come up in this doujin. First one being that apparently dick can just convert your feelings entirely, and that you can just suddenly love it once it's inside of you. I'm like, pretty sure that's not how it works.
Nah.
Whatever.
It's got to be a pretty fucking good dick for you to do that.
You'd be surprised about how many times that crops up in hentai.
Oh,
it's literally in every single fucking hentai.
I know,
as
where
well.
it's just like, you don't want it? Well, you obviously haven't had the Giga Chad dick yet. Let me introduce you.
Say that after you feel my dick.
It's so fucking dumb. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
And then also they had that whole fucking trope of, for some reason this happens a lot in hentai as well, where the girl is having sex with the teacher, because of course she is.
Yeah.
And outside is another student who happens to catch wind of this going on. And naturally, instead of being like, oh God, oh my God, and running away and telling friends, she's like, I think I should start nutting. I think I should start masturbating right now. Right now, outside.
It's the optimal time to nut.
In either winter or summer in Japan, which are both wildly uncomfortable seasons to be doing this outside, by the way. So this is just a terrible experience overall, and I did not enjoy this first story at all. I thought it was shit. And I was really confused. I was like, I really liked the anime version of this. I thought it was really hot.
I didn't even remember that this had an anime adaptation, because like I had to
you remember if you've seen it.
No, exactly, because I was like, this name kind of rings a bell somewhere.
Yeah, same.
So I look at the anime and then I look at the doujin and I was just like, these aren't the same fucking story. I literally thought I had made a mistake. And like I was
they adapted the better half into an anime.
Smart man.
Thankfully.
Because the first half is every other fucking doujin that exists. And every hentai. It's like, all right, whatever. Fucking teacher abuses power. Yada. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Which we'll get to.
Okay, let's get to the part you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Then.
Listen, okay.
Let's get to the good part.
The animated adaptation of this one, I have seen. I enjoy thoroughly. I think it's great. The animation, very good. Because the boy isn't actually a Shotokan, makes it, in my head, I'm like, free pass. I'm like, it's free real estate. Because he transforms temporarily. So it's, I'm willing to bend the rules.
This is like if I close my eyes and forget it's Connor's voice coming out, I'm just like, man, is Joey fucking talking right now? What is going on?
Yeah, that's like a me.
Are you okay with Shotokons, Connor? Is that what you're saying?
No,
I don't know.
I have watched. I don't know what that other famous one is that always comes up with like the big MILFs and the tiny kids.
Oh,
that I do not. The
yokai one.
I fucking hate that one. That one is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
And I accidentally watched it and I thought, oh God, you know what I'm on about. If you've seen it, it's this vile.
It's like the 8-foot MILF, right?
It's fucking disgusting.
Because it's like fucking watching Attack on Titan. You know what I mean?
It's like a POV. The fucking colossal Titan fucks you. It's like I don't want to watch this. I don't want this.
I was just like, this doujin disappointed me so fucking much, right? And the hentai also disappoints me because you know why? Do you know what the worst? Do you know the only worse thing than a lolly? A Shotokan.
I agree, though. I agree
because the thing is with lolly
they're
heads,
equal in my hate.
Because like no, they're not equal to me. Because with lolly hentai, I was like, I was never gonna jack off to you anyway. It's whatever. I can just skip over this. The one reason why it's so fucking hard to find MILF hentai is because 90% of them are Shotokan. And the thing is, most of them have like the fucking hottest MILF, like perfectly crafted MILF from God.
Perfectly
right?
crafted milk.
Yeah.
I don't think there's that many. I think you're over exaggerating a little
That's
bit.
what it feels like to me,
There's
right?
a fair few,
and I'm just
yeah.
like, all right, I'm in this. I'm invested. I'm ready for this hentai. And then the fucking Shota comes out, and I'm just like, you are this close to greatness. We had it, and then you lost it.
They had us in the first half.
You know, I can understand the frustration.
Yeah.
But I think this is an exception.
Hell yeah.
You know, if I had read the Doujin, I thought, so what? So what? Another like B tier. But you watch the anime version, you're like, this has a place.
S tier.
I'm like, okay, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
This is such a Shyamalan twist for me because I thought you were gonna hate this one.
No, dude, how can you?
I thought you were gonna hate this one.
When you watch the animation of this one,
Because it has a
how
lolly
can-
and a Shota in it.
Okay, the lolly one, I thought was I don't know. I really like the redhead girl.
Yeah, the redhead girl's hot.
Yeah,
Redhead
I
girl?
was just like, redhead girl is fucking hot.
Yeah.
Shota, why? Why?
I think
It's
that-
like it's like if you have the fucking Mona Lisa and you just decide to fucking piss on it, you know?
Do you ever see something that happens in porn that it hits something where you're like, oh, I didn't know I was into that, but that's very nice.
Yeah, that's what I like search for every day, man.
Well, you know,
Try to feel that craving every day.
you know, there was a scene in it where she like gives a hand job at the dinner table. And I'm like, I don't know why that was very attractive, but I was like, I'm into
The redhead
that.
girl.
I'm
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've sold me. I want to invest. How do I invest in this? Put my money in this stock.
Stonks.
Put my money in this stock.
to the moon.
That kind of shit, I'm like, I'm here for it. But like, I know it's terrible because it's like my mind's telling me no, but my body, it's like literally that. It's like I know this is fucked, and I'm always very, very hard on you guys for this kind of shit. So I feel like it's very hypocritical. For me
Well,
to
I
be
mean,
so
I'm just
say this.
happy we found out that you have a new favorite fetish, which is cheeky hand job under the table.
Honestly, cheeky hand job at the family table. What's a better genre? I like danger in mine.
You like a bit of spice?
I like a bit.
Wait,
No, I like danger, not spice. I don't want Garnt spice. I don't want Garnt
That's me.
spice
That's-
anywhere
that's
near.
me.
I like
you.
danger. I like the fact that anyone could walk in. I like that kind of shit.
Right,
I like that
right.
kind of stuff.
Likes having a danger wank. That's what he does.
Danger wank.
I'm not out here in the taxi wanking. I'm not saying that, but a little bit of spice, a little bit of danger. I nearly said it. A little bit of danger adds a little something.
Danger
to it.
wank is
say
going to be my
danger
next album.
But also every single, again, like my love for like this thing is purely based on the. This is not even a Doujin thing at this point. The Doujin was mid when I was reading it.
Right.
I was like,
Okay,
this is
so
shit.
review it.
Because you are talking about the animation, right?
Because the
Yeah.
animation is so goddamn
and-
good.
and-
Pink Pineapple like finna bring my A game to this
yeah,
one
yeah.
for some reason.
Because
But
like
this
I
one,
completely agree. Watching the animation of this, the animation for hentai standards is fucking
Yeah,
godly.
what happened? I need
like,
to know what happened.
This
Why
is also
so
like a
good?
fuck. I'm surprised that no one recommended this on our hentai episode, right? Because it's just that famous.
I was going to, but then I thought he would hate it.
No, I like this one. I like this one.
Because I was like, I don't know if Connor's into Shota or not.
No, I'm not.
Right.
Most of it, I absolutely despise. This is probably the only one where I'm like, that's hot.
Really?
Yeah, this is the only one I've ever seen that I'm like, I think this is good.
That's really surprising. I'm learning a lot about you today, Connor.
What can I say? I'm willing to bend my morals.
All right, so purely just based on the Doujin, out of 10.
Like a 6, 5.
6?
Yeah, it was like the first story really ruined it for me.
So what,
The first story was so basic, so bland, so insulting. None of the characters were hot. The teacher was fucking just not even remotely attractive. I was not into the teacher character at all. And we'll get into the next teacher character who
what I'm getting out of this is like, what if like fucking Ufotable animated some lolly hentai? Would Connor enjoy it because the animation's that good? I don't know.
Listen, 'cause in this episode, I was saying I like my hentai animation bad. Because sometimes I feel like it serves...
you did.
Yeah.
I completely
Because
forgot about
sometimes
that.
I feel like it serves the story better to have
Right.
like bad animation. Because sometimes the fucking isn't that great, and I'm like, that's fine.
We are talking to the one and only fan of Milky, right? So,
Yeah. But for this is one of them where I'm like, the animation is so goddamn good, where it feels like this is better than most anime we've been getting recently. So it's like, what am I supposed to do?
You're not wrong.
How can I hate on this? This
Yeah.
is just so goddamn good. I'm not saying I want all hentai to be like this because God knows we'd get 50 NTRs animated like this, and my mind can't take that. That would be 50
Unfortunately, the NTRs are like some of the best animated
They are.
stuff
They
out there.
always are the best
I fucking hate
animated.
it. I hate it.
It's like they draw this ugly bastard with the detail of a Mona Lisa. And it's like, why would you do this? What is wrong with you? How is the staff okay doing this? Like, I just don't get it. But it's fine.
It's like they're just playing nut chicken, right? Because it's just like are you willing to nut to this? Are you willing to nut to this animation?
We can't always have a masterpiece. I've accepted that not everything can be a masterpiece. You know,
Yeah.
literally the animation. Watch it; it's great. But yeah, this is good. I like the animation. The story was kind of shit, but the animation very much saves the story.
We just reviewed the hentai, not the doujin, by the way.
Essentially, I mean, I genuinely, when I got to the second part, I'm like, seen it, skipped it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I already know exactly what happens, and I went through to
Okay.
make sure. It was like one for one the same as well, so I was like, whatever.
Was there a reason why you suggested this doujin?
It's just the first one I thought of when I thought like, you know, all the girls are hot. Like, it's just an interesting premise. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, again, this is another one where it's like, as long as you're okay with the whole Shota thing, it's very inoffensive.
As long as you That's a very big ask.
Just get over the Shota. It's fine. Just pretend you're the Shota. It's all right.
I don't know. Is it one of those things, like, is it because I'm a guy where I can forgive it a little less? Is that why? Is that,
What do you mean?
Like, with the Shota in this case, am I making an exception because I'm a guy and I could be like, you know, he was an adult in the start of this thing. I'm like,
Right, but if he was like a full-on kid.
if it was genuinely a kid, I don't think I could enjoy
I mean,
it.
this is like a very deep conversation that I don't feel we have time to explore on this podcast.
maybe at a later.
Maybe on a future podcast.
It's definitely one of those things where I'm like, I hate letting the exception, like, I hate letting them be like the Uno reverse card, kind of save it. But like for this one, I'm like, it kind of does though for me. Like, he acts like an adult. He is an adult. All right, fuck it. All right, I'll let it.
But like
slide.
the thing that turns me off originally was that he didn't know that he wasn't a Shota. They the girls didn't know that he wasn't a Shota.
I did think it was weird when I first watched it. They're just
Yeah.
suddenly into him now that he's a kid. I'm like,
Yeah, because all the girls are into Shotas.
and I'm like, there's a few things we need to unpack here.
Wait. So it's kind of like when you have the siblings fucking, but then
No,
they'd be like,
No,
but
no,
they
no,
are step siblings.
No. Because there
This
was
video
there
is
was
under fair use and not under copyright law.
No, because there was no moment where she was like, I'm going to ruin your life. I'm going to impregnate you, impregnate me, ruin my marriage. There was none of that. That's pretty fucking hard to deal with. I don't want a marriage just being ruined while I'm trying to have a wank. Like, you know what I mean? That's not what I want to deal
All
with.
right, let's get on to the last one. Or the second to last
Second to
one.
last
All right, second to last one.
Which is Kyoushi to Seito to, teacher and student.
Yeah. So this one's obviously Garnt's because it's
Yeah,
the
this
last
one's
one.
mine.
You know what? I had this down as Garnts, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, perfect.
Which I just, again, like, I'm shocked that I got some of these wrong. I thought I would have got them all right.
Yeah, I'm shocked you got it wrong too. I thought it would have been fairly obvious.
I thought it was
Well, 'cause
fairly obvious.
it was just because, you know what it was? Because me and Garnt had a conversation the other day where Garnt mentioned the word Shota, and I'm like, this has got to be Garnt. He said
the word.
He literally said the word Shota to me like a week ago. It must be Garnt. who said this. He's trying to fucking inception my ass. Yeah, I mean, this one was weird because I thought the premise was really quite attractive, you know? I thought it was quite hot. And then suddenly things just started happening where I'm like, ooh, I don't know about this.
Really?
So
'Cause-
let me explain the premise,
Yeah.
shall I?
Yeah.
So a teacher who works at this school is broke, I guess.
Very broke.
Very broke, but she has a
Very
job.
broke.
Full-time, teacher, which
Obviously,
I feel
obviously isn't paying the dough.
seems like everyone else is managing fine. So her genius solution is to ask one of the kids whose dad owns an apartment complex
Yeah, he's a rich
Yeah.
kid.
to just stay in his house. And, so he says no because he's a very responsible Chad child. Says no. He says no to this woman. No, you're my teacher. You can't stay in my fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you? So she turns up at his door. Naturally.
As you do.
As you do when you've been rejected. Just
Yeah.
fucking turn up at their door. This is already extremely wildly inappropriate for HR standards.
Yeah.
And just invite yourself in. And then she just starts living with him. And mad props to the kid. Pushes her away and says no like 10 times. That has to be rewarded. Claps to you, Chad. King shit. But it's a doujin. You could only last so long.
Yeah.
But the fact that he said no a bunch of times, I respect that.
Right.
Expecting, he's respecting the HR standards of the workplace.
Yeah,
Which,
yeah.
frankly, for a kid, Very professional.
Yeah.
I notice I'm calling HR. How did this woman get this job? Is what I did write down. Because she's essentially just trying to fuck this guy constantly. And I'm just wondering, like, how does she get this job? What's going on here? What's going on here? What?
Probably did a sneaky hand job
Did she
under
try
the
to fuck
table.
the guy? From what I remember.
She
no.
definitely did.
Did she?
Yeah, she literally grabbed his dick out and started sucking.
Oh yeah, the first
No,
time
no,
around.
that was the first time.
That was
though,
the
right?
first time around.
Yeah.
But before that, even before she even came to his house, she's like, "Do you want to touch my boobs? I'll let you do it if I get to stay in your house." And
No,
I'm
but
like,
she said it like jokingly,
Yeah.
right? Because she's
Yeah,
like supposed
yeah,
to be
yeah,
like
yeah.
a
she's a
haha,
fucking
hee.
teacher. She can't say that shit jokingly to the student.
It's a
Yeah,
Doujin,
it's
bro.
a Doujin.
Wait, can I have a beer? Ashley, can you be
Yeah, can you get me a beer as well?
from the fridge? I need a beer for this shit.
Yeah,
I can't.
okay.
I can't talk about this. I can't talk about this shit without a drink. You kidding me? We ran out of wine.
All right, so to explain why, I guess to give context to why I chose this, this is one of my favorite Doujin artists. It's an artist called Fuga, and I
Fucking love Fuga.
Yeah, I didn't know how well known he was, but this man is to me the king of vanilla.
Yeah.
Like. This man's like his art is like I would say like about average, maybe a bit above average.
say
No,
average,
yeah,
average.
It's about average, but like why I love his work so much is that his like stories and characters are so fucking good. Where there are some points where I feel like I'm not even reading a doujin. I'm just reading romance manga with sex scenes in
No,
it.
I wanna agree with you so bad. I want it, but there was so many moments where I'm like, nah, bro, this ain't it.
No.
Is it the incest?
Of course, there's incest.
The incest side story, right?
So, let me explain the story first, and I'll build up to. You're probably wondering, why is there incest in this story? No, Connor didn't even mention incest. Why is there incest in this story? Great question. I'll answer why there's incest in this story. So in this story, like I said, she moves into his apartment. For some reason, he doesn't kick her out or try to get like his dad to kick her out. He lets her live in there. And they both explain to each other that they're frustrated because they haven't been able to jack off because they're both always around each other.
Right.
Yeah.
And so her solution is, well, great, I'll just make you nut.
Yeah.
As any good teacher would.
Apparently.
Apparently. So they start fucking, and then it becomes a thing, and it's very honestly, like I will admit, it's quite attractive up to this point.
Yeah.
It's done very tastefully, considering the fact that it would be very illegal.
Yeah.
And very concerning in real life. In Doujin form, very tasteful. I thought it was done really well.
And
I was on board.
I would say the reason for that is because like there's a good like 40 to 50 pages before there's this first sex scene.
True.
And like
It's done well. It's
like
done well.
You hear this premise and you think, okay, I've seen doujins like this before. They fuck into like the third, fourth page or something. No, there is like
It was tasteful. It was
There is
tasteful.
40 full pages of characterization, and that's the thing. That's why I love this doujin artist is because he gives a shit about characterization.
I'll say that there was. He definitely took the time, and again, like I'm saying, like obviously in real life, this shit is fucking weird.
Yeah.
But it's Doujin, right? So you set the kind of disbelief apart, and it was done really well. I'd say up to this point, it's done really well. Go on, what were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I fucking love this one.
I know. Again, like I was honestly, I was so into this.
I was
Yeah.
like, this reminds me of like an early '90s Shonen Jump rom-com.
yeah, it does,
Like
doesn't
with
it?
the art and like
Yeah,
how it's
yeah.
paced and
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
characterization. I'm
Like,
like, I fucking love this.
I'm not
dude.
just here to hate, I agree. It was hot, right?
Yeah.
Up until this point, I was like, they're hitting every mark.
Yeah.
They've done this about as tastefully as you can. A little.
Was
weird
it
at
chapter
parts.
3?
It might have been chapter 3. So first of all, right, we get this whole the whole reason why they fuck is because there's a rumor going around the school that she's dating a teacher.
Yeah.
And the teacher's like
Like the vice
the
principal.
vice
right?
principal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the vice principal was like, yeah, we're dating, kid. Get over it.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, they're fucking, yeah. And she's like, no. He tried to take me to a hotel and he tried to come on me. We didn't fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, respect. I get it.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, like a fucking Randy Orton slithering in, his sister comes into the play and is like, by the way, I love him. I'm gonna fuck him now. And then they start fucking. And I'm like, what is going on? Where did this come from? Why? It's like this incest was just like, allow me to introduce myself. Like, why did this? Why?
No, it wasn't
why?
allow me to
No.
introduce myself. It came in like the Kool-Aid man. It was just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
incest.
Like to this
Like,
day.
out of nowhere, they just start fucking his sister, and then she leaves, and it's never brought up again. Why?
Why not? To
Justify it to me.
No.
Justify the incest.
I'm not
Why do you
justifying
like
it.
incest so much? What the fuck?
I fucking hated the incest in this one. Okay.
Thank God. What
This-
the fuck was that?
The reason I fucking love this one, teacher-student relationship done fucking tastefully as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 3, she doesn't fuck the main guy. For some reason, like, there is just this, like, one of his classmates comes in and is just like, I've run away from home. And
That's right.
No, it
Oh,
was,
yeah,
it
that was weird
Yeah,
too.
my sister is harassing me. Right?
yeah, my
like
sister.
That one. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so he's, to correct what Connor said, it's the sister doesn't fuck the main guy. It's just these two side characters who just
Yeah.
who is the brother sister who just randomly fuck for no fucking reason.
It's
I don't
never
know why
explained.
it's there
it's
either.
not the main character.
No,
It's
no,
not the
I
main
thought it was
character.
It's the main character's friend.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's the
looks
main
so
character.
much like it.
It's the main character, but less Chad.
Yeah. It's the main character's friend shows up and he says, "I've run away from home," and then he finds out.
Sister, fuck me.
Yeah, my sister's been harassing me, and then so
This is even more concerning because it has absolutely nothing to do with the
the
plot.
main story, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like a fucking T-bone.
his friend finds out that the teacher and student are living together, and he's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine, whatever."
Yeah.
And then the sister comes along and was like, the sister comes to the teacher and is like, "Do you know where my little brother is? I heard he went to your place or something along those
right.
lines." And so the sister comes in and she's like, "This is mine. He is mine."
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
and then
It's
they
just like,
start.
I don't even know who he is.
I literally don't know who you are.
And then the little brother starts like, and then she starts fucking sucking his dick or something in front of the teacher, and the teacher's just there being like,
She's like, all right, you guys, you do you. Like,
and the teacher's just like fucking Mike Wazowski face, just like,
This is why I was like, what the fuck was that? Like, I was literally into this headset meme. I literally take it. I'm like, what is this? Like, why do they do this? Like, every time you get into it, a random side story comes up. There's absolutely fucking nothing to do with the story, and it's shit.
I
And
thought
it
that
ruins-
side story was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, but it takes you out of it. You
No,
try-
it was
you-
funny.
Yeah, but you're in the wrong way. It was shit.
Nah,
it was
nah,
so
nah,
shit.
it was
it was so out of place
Yeah.
for like the rest of the Doujin.
Because it's only one chapter.
It's only one chapter. It's a side story that I don't know why this side story is in here.
Put it at the end. Put it at the end.
Because
Don't ruin the flow.
it literally had no effect on the story, and the character they don't call back to the characters at fucking all. Like, I don't know why this side story's in here, but the point is, like, the reason this is one of my favorites is that the relationship between the student and the teacher is like handled
Wholesome as
so
fuck.
well, and it's just like you can never read a Fuga Doujin and just not come out just like with a warm fuzzy feeling.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree with that.
What are you laughing at, Connor?
All right,
why are you laughing,
Okay,
Connor?
because I gotta stop you right there. I will stop you right there.
Okay.
There is one moment where I was like, oh, I don't know about that one, Chief. Where she's like, guys, I have an announcement to the school. I've been fucking one of the students, and I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. I really don't think this is a good idea.
Well, like, it's completely in character, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, they've built her up as just someone who just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here like, all right.
She did it for love.
I respect it. I do.
Yeah.
I do. But I think about your career a little bit.
No, she doesn't care.
You're not employed. You've literally just admitted to a criminal offense. I'm pretty sure, like in front of everyone.
No, dude, she was just like, I love this guy so much.
Yeah,
I'm willing
exactly.
to quit
Your
my
honor,
job.
Your honor, it was love.
Yeah,
All
it was love.
You've been sentenced to 10 years in jail. Get out of
That's
here.
why it's wholesome as fuck.
Wholesome as fuck?
She sacrificed her career
Yeah.
to declare her love. And I'm just like...
Exactly.
I'm just like, this is a
All right.
Doujin. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care about the legal ramifications. She obviously didn't get any. The point is that, like, it was building up to a point. Like,
Listen, I will admit, the ending was somewhat sweet. I will admit.
Yeah.
A part of me was just like, did you really have to announce it to the school? Was this really... Because you know...
That's
quit?
the dramatic scene.
Yeah.
Did
Do you-
it's not like the Shrek fucking wedding. You don't have to be like, Lord Farquaad, you cannot marry her because I'm going to marry her. You don't need that. You know, it really doesn't add anything. You could have just been like, you know what, I'll see you after school. Graduate, well, fuck. You know, that could have been
No,
it.
but that's boring.
Yeah.
Is it though? Is
I mean,
it?
it was dramatic.
Yeah.
It was
the
dramatic.
drama. You need the drama.
You need the drama. You need the spice, motherfucker.
That's the Pog moment where you're like, oh, I can't believe she just said that.
Like when he confessed to her, and she just went, I know. I'm just like, oh shit, son. She did not just say that.
What? I mean, she's literally been fucking riding this boy's dick for 10 months. Of course she likes her. That's how this shit goes.
But that's what I loved about this doujin is that it reads like a 90s rom-com because there's so many moments like that in 90s rom-coms that I've read where I'm just like, I mean, of course, of course you would do that.
I was so fucking invested in these characters. In this character's relationship,
Yeah, I mean,
more
it was
so
very
than
good.
like any other doujin I've read, apart from his other works. Like the only reason I really chose this was, of course, Garnt teacher-student relationship. Of course, I'm gonna fucking love that.
yeah.
I mean, you know, as taboo as it is in real life, it's very attractive in fictional works.
I don't think about the legal ramifications when I read doujin.
Sometimes I do. I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, how many years am I getting for this? Like, how many?
But like this isn't even his like most highly rated works. There's like one which I would say is like the Tsuredure Children of Hentai. If you remember Tsuredure Children, it's like an anime that focuses on different couples kind of like and getting together, and it's wholesome as fuck. And his work is basically like that, but just with the fucking included, right? You get the same kind of character development, you get the same kind of care in the characterization as you would in any other fucking manga.
I would say there was big props to, you know, making me actually give a fuck about the story.
Yeah.
Despite the weird side story. Again, I really want to know what the thought process was. I'd love to have been there. In the board meeting, I wish I was there so I could be like,
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
it was, but it also took me out of it.
I was like, halfway through reading this chapter, I was like, I know this is gonna have no ramifications on the story, but it's just hilarious to read.
I was just like, because I knew when I recommended this that it was that scene that was going to get brought up. And
of course it is. How could I not?
I knew it was just going to be the moment where it's just like, go on, this your man? I'm just like, this is not my man. This is not my man.
Come get your man. Come get your man.
All I'm saying, right, is that 2 out of 3 have incest comp. What's up with that? What's up with that? You know what I mean? Whatever.
He likes it, man. Leave the man
This
alone.
is good. I like it because I get to be the judge, jury, and executioner here, and I didn't have to show my taste.
He didn't have to show your taste.
I don't have any taste.
We roasted you enough in the hentai
I put my nose breast up. Come on, I've been roasted for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Stand by my words. But yeah, I mean,
Out of 10?
What did I give it out of 10? Let's look at what I gave it. I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Oh, not bad.
I
Not
thought
bad.
the good moments were very, very good. The story was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
A few moments where I thought, yeah, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
And a few moments where I'm like, all right, a little too much keenness from this lady in the start. I'm like, there's no. Why are you into this kid? Is there any reason why? Is it purely the
I don't even think she was into the kid at first.
Really?
Right? Because
She's just joshing around.
yeah,
What kind of kid? What kind of woman? Josh, he gonna fuck around, live in your apartment, bro?
She's like early 20s. Like she doesn't give a fuck.
Like the reason that like there was like they used the cat analogy so much was because she would just basically was a stray cat, right? That was like the analogy.
I get it.
Right? When I'm just like, she doesn't give a fuck.
Again, a good story though.
It was the first time where I read a doujin and I looked at like a character and I was like, you're not even hot. You're just cute as fuck.
Yeah, honestly, the reason this is my favorite of his works is because I fucking
Like you had the cutest fucking
I
personality.
fucking think the teacher's like, I love the fucking teacher, man.
I think she's cute as fuck.
Like,
The
she
fang-
is cute as
the
fuck.
fucking fang as
the,
well.
the
It's like,
fangs, like,
bruh, that does it for me.
7 out of 10.
All right, but what's most important is this final one.
okay.
It's neither Garnt or my recommendation, or rather, it's both of our recommendations.
It's both our
They just wanted to
recommendations.
scar me.
We were never going to do a Doujin episode without talking about Metamorphosis.
One of the most legendary doujins out there.
okay.
I gotta
And
ask.
Connor's never read it. So
Before we start, I got something to say. I have a confession to make, guys.
go on.
Oh no, what are you gonna say? Go on. Fuck.
I have before this never read Metamorphosis.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Metamorphosis has been my Full Metal Alchemist of hentai.
All it took was an episode to make him do it.
Congratulations, you did it.
I just
It
needed.
takes 10 fucking minutes to read. It's not long.
It's not 10 fucking minutes.
It's like a 20, 30 minute read.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not-
But like
Yeah.
it was the one where I'm just like, people have talked about it so much that I had just been putting it off.
Yeah.
So it was that one hentai when I'm just like, I will read Metamorphosis when I am ready to read Metamorphosis.
I will say, for all I've heard about this, I almost expected it to be more fucked up than it was. Did you feel that way? It was pretty
No.
fucked up.
Okay.
But because of the reputation it had, I expected it to be.
You overhyped yourself.
I thought it was going to be even worse than it was.
So did you just hype up the fucked upness in your head?
Well, you know, I mean, I've been an anime fan for a long time. You hear about this
Yeah.
constantly. It's referenced constantly as being that one fucked up thing.
yeah.
you know, and
It's fucked up for a vanilla audience.
you know, and I've watched the final season of Game of Thrones. I know true disappointment, and this is kind of what it felt like a little bit. I was like, this is fucked. Don't get me wrong, it's very fucked up.
It is fucked.
But I almost expected something worse. Like I almost expected like absolutely.
Well, I think it's
horrific
because
shit.
you've already put your foot in the Doujin and like hentai world.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I know.
This is like
I know
this
the
is like
amount-
grade A fucked up of someone who's like never stepped foot into that, right?
I feel like I've seen S tier fucked up, and this is A tier fucked up. Like it's very fucked up and very uncomfortable. Maybe it's just more accessible. I'm not really sure why this one has gotten a notoriety.
I think it's because this was just that one Doujin that really just got around, I guess, for whatever reason it is. And I'm like,
Should we explain the premise? First
Yeah,
of all?
yeah, what-
Metamorphosis
Yeah.
is
Now, why don't you
a
explain?
very, very well-known doujin.
Yes.
About a girl who, you know, she's not the prettiest girl out there, and then she gets a makeover, and then suddenly
Literally takes off her glasses.
takes off her,
Takes off her glasses, puts on a bit of makeup.
becomes hot.
becomes hot, and then guys are suddenly attracted.
You have seen this beginning panel somewhere. If you're in the anime
You've
community,
always seen it.
you've seen this somewhere.
It's iconic as fuck.
Yeah.
Even I know what this panel
yeah.
is. And then I didn't know any of the other panel, which is this is the before and this is the after.
Yeah.
Completely different character.
Yeah.
And then this character is just shocked that guys are now paying attention to her and that they want to fuck her. And so she starts fucking these guys and it gets really derailed really fast.
Yeah.
It's a big yikes of a read. I mean, how do I explain it? I mean, let me just, I put some notes down while I was
Okay,
reading
go
it.
on, go on.
Seems normal so far. Not fond of how his dad reacted to her makeup. Of her dad reacting to her makeup.
Wait, what scene was that?
Makeover, not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah.
As she gets a
Chapter
makeover.
3.
So she gets a makeover, and the father's like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "I don't like."
You won't
that.
believe what happens next.
I was like, I do not like that. I do not like that look he gave. This does not mean good things. And unfortunately, I was correct.
Top
Yeah.
10 foreshadowing moments.
Yeah.
Literally, watch Mojo. You can take this from the top 10 short foreshadowing moments in anime. So, you know, a kind of sleazy dude kind of uses her for sex,
Yeah.
you know, and then gives her drugs.
Yeah, I think the biggest aspect of the story, which I've never seen in any other doujinshi before, was the drug angle, right?
Yeah, it was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It was pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah, where it was like so she puts on makeup, she has her makeover, and then she finds this douchebag guy who basically gives her a drug.
It's like a kind of like a Mandy ripoff kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just
And
kind
basically, she experiences the best sex of her, or just one of the best experiences of her life.
literally her
She's-
first time.
She's a virgin then, and she just becomes kind of a nymphomaniac, right? Where she just
And a drug addict.
yeah, well, a sex addict and a drug addict
Yeah.
at this point, right? Where she's addicted to the sex and she's addicted to the drugs and she's addicted to the sex and drugs, and then it just kind of spirals down from there. It is a downward curve from like chapter 1, you know?
But you almost feel like when the character is like this disconnected and like barely gives you any signs of wanting to, I don't know, like this, it feels so forced at times, this decline of mental state where it's like, all right, you're just doing the fucking best of depression hits at this point or something. You know what I mean? Like it's literally, you're just trying to get, I feel like they're just making things bad for the sake of it. Like there's like a lot of the time I was like, I guess.
Yeah.
Like there was a moment in it where I was like, I don't know, extra doubt on that one. Where like
Which point?
So it was in the school.
Yeah.
Where during the story, they know that she went to a hotel. I suppose I should back up. So she has this boyfriend, who's kind of a scumbag, gives her drugs.
Yeah.
And then she kind of wants money. So she starts fucking an old guy who gives her money. A little distirbing. And the sex scene
Ugly
is
bastard tag.
Literally, really, it's not an uncomfortable. It's quite uncomfortable. What am I saying? It's very uncomfortable. I didn't mean to say not uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. And then for some reason, one of the students finds out that she went to this place. So naturally, all of the boys together decide, well, let's all get blowjobs from her. That's what me and the boys do at school. It's
Yeah,
like,
of course.
First of all, never going to happen. But also, that was the part where I was like, I feel like this is kind of like, just a little extra. Like, that was where I was like, I get it. It's very depressing, but I was like, this feels really forced, this part. I'm like, you're making this sad for the sake of it. Do you not agree with that whole school part? Where I'm like, this is a bit of a stretch.
I mean, it's just like a trope that I've seen in so many doujins.
And they all start fucking her, and I'm like, name one school kid that minds showing his dick to anyone, let alone fucking someone in front of his friend.
You'd be surprised in Japan.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man.
I mean, this is a culture that is grown up on just seeing each other's dicks in the onsen, right? That's like...
It is.
It's just probably another day
I
at the
know,
office,
they
right?
want to fuck the same fucking girl.
No,
in front of each other.
no.
Like it's such a stretch that I'm like, I feel like they're just doing this.
I mean, you say it's a stress, but again, it's like such a trope that you see in doujins.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
I
it
guess
happens
so.
all the time. It's not even like surprising.
Yeah.
But I guess when it's used in a way, it's like feel sorry for this girl, feel like sadness. I'm like, oh,
I mean, that wasn't even the part where I felt sadness
Well,
at all. Like it was after that.
Like, yeah, what I would say is this is like the requiem for a dream of hentai, and I didn't think I would say that in a sentence, but it's a thing. It is a thing. This is
so. After she sleeps with this old guy for money, after she gets blackmailed by the other kids in a school to have sex with them and do all this other stuff, which is really horrifying. It's not portrayed very well. As in, like, it is portrayed very horrifyingly. Her dad wants a piece of the action, and this is where I'm like, for fuck's sake. This is like literally the saying, my day can't get any worse. This is literally it. This is literally. So I'm like, God damn, what do I even say about this thing? This is so fucked up that I'm like, oh my God, like, what? Why? And then she fucks the dad fucks her, right? And it goes on, and the mum blames her, and I'm like, really? Really? Like, you were married to this man for how long? And you think it's your daughter's fault? Come on. Come the fuck on. No way. I bet 99% of men, wives would be like, men, you're out. I don't care what happened. I don't care who tempted who. You're fucking out. You are the problem. You should fucking know better.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's where I was like, all right. Okay. Maybe. I'm like,
maybe. I'll see where this goes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know about this move, Chief. I don't know. Could you see a world where the mum would be like, I blame you, daughter, for fucking dad?
I mean, fuck, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know anyone who's been in that situation. So how the fuck am I supposed to know? You never know. There might be. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
What do you think then? I mean, this is just fucking weird. This one was fucking weird, uncomfortable. I'm like, I get why it's got a reputation, but I was just like, fuck.
Oh no, it is absolutely fucked up, and it's not supposed. It's one of those doujins where it's not supposed to be enjoyed in the conventional way of enjoying a doujin.
You know some.
I'm a fuck.
Oh no, of course, yes.
Yeah,
I'm a fucking say. I think this doujin's a masterpiece.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was just like, not because I thought it was hot.
I raised this boy.
This is like, I Google every depressing thing that could happen in life. I put it in a doujin. How is that a masterpiece?
I have never been so engrossed in a doujin before. Like where like I was turning every page, I was just like, because I was thinking, where is this doujin gonna go next? I'm 100% serious. And I was just like,
I literally saw it from like the moment she met this guy. I'm like, I bet just fucked up after fucked up shit is gonna happen. The moment she gave him he gave her drugs. I'm like, I know this is going. This is just gonna.
It has the greatest shonen battle of all time, dude. Who is going to win?
Woman
One
versus drugs?
one innocent girl, or one spiky boy?
no, because I tried to come. I feel like you came in with like a lot of preconceived notions where you're just like, this is fucked up. I'm ready for this. Where
listen, if this was a movie or a TV show or anything, this would be like just like bait tier of like, this is just baiting. Like, this is just so lazy in terms of how little they try to sell this as like a realistic journey, that I'm like, you know, we've had movies about stuff like this that are fucked up, that have done this so much better, that I'm like,
literally Requiem for a Dream. Like,
literally, just because this is in doujin format and it's literally the only one that's like, how about we be depressing? You know, it's like, I don't want to give it props for that, because like
I give it props for that.
I think it's a bit more than that.
Yeah, but I think it's a little more.
Maybe I'm being a little too harsh, but I feel like this has been done before in other places.
Because I feel like Metamorphosis has like, well, now it has to battle with it being like the meme doujin, right? Because it's like people don't judge it on its own merits anymore. People judge it being like, haha, I've seen this been memed everywhere as like the big thing that people like recommend to people to like fuck them up and stuff like that. And it's like one thing that's like I don't like is that people in in like the hentai community or what I've seen, people are just like, I've seen more fucked up shit than this. I've seen worse things than this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, of course you have. I too watch Euphoria. I too have seen some of the shit that Sydney has recommended and fucking reviewed. Like, I've seen the fucked up shit.
Daily collection of, you know, I didn't go in. You know, a part of me obviously went into thinking it's gonna be some of the most fucked up thing I've ever seen in my life because everyone's recommending it. But you know, it wasn't that. Then on the other hand, I'm like, you know, it's almost trying too hard to make me feel sadness for this character that I don't really feel like they built her up that well. Like, honestly, personally.
I thought they built her up really well.
It was so short and sweet, and it's like, I guess, it felt very one-dimensional to me. I felt like there wasn't enough depth to the character, and then the moment shit started going wrong...
Look at us.
There was
depth to the character in a Doujin episode.
Listen. If you want me to give a shit about this story, you sit here saying it's a masterpiece. I'm gonna sit back and be like, listen, I'll talk about the characters for one goddamn minute.
Okay.
Listen, the moment shit started going wrong for her, all character development went out the fucking window. There was like nothing was added or introduced. It was like, all right, it's like an Apple event. It's like, we've seen the iPhone. We've seen being taken advantage of. Let me introduce being taken advantage of by your father. And everyone's like, that's what I felt like. I felt like I was being condescended to in terms of the shit that was coming up.
Okay, because I would feel like the thing that I also want to mention is that, goddamn, Shinduel knows how to draw a good sex scene. My fucking god, that's the thing that's missing.
He's the
right?
man.
Because like, okay, here's the thing. I think fucking chapter 1 awoke something in me. You're like, you remember talking about like that new thing?
Yeah.
Where you're just like, ooh,
Wait, what is the new thing?
The
Tell
new
me.
fetish.
The new fetish is just like this girl who, like, I've never read a doujin where like this sex scene is like this intense. I'm
With
just
that,
like,
with like the drugs and shit?
yeah,
in the karaoke room.
Yeah, where they introduced the drugs and it just like enhanced her experience to a point where it was just like nothing that you can ever experience on this earth.
I don't know why I didn't enjoy that scene that much. I'm not really sure why.
No, that scene single-handedly awoke that for me as well.
Yeah, I'm just
I
like,
wonder why
I'm
didn't it
just
for
like,
me?
for me reading that scene was just like fucking heavy breathing cats. I'm just like, oh god,
Fogging up your PC monitor.
Jesus Christ! For a second, I like understood Maylin for like a second, and that's fucking saying something, right? Like I didn't know I could feel this way. And then like chapter 3 here, and I'm just like, I think like my fucking penis shriveled up and it just inverted back into my body. Right? That's just like, it was just like such a whiplash of emotions that I'm just like, it went from like, oh, that's hot, to just like what the fuck am I reading?
Have you seen that fucking like? There's a thing in the UK where they would go and there's a TV show they go and visit tribes, and there's this one clip. It's one of my favorite clips. It's where the guy's like, there's a ceremony where they invert their penises, and they invert this dude's penis, and he immediately faints. I imagine that's what happened. That's what happened to God. His penis inverts. He's just fucking. At his PC monitor, and he's like, "What happened, God?" I was reading Metamorphosis. Understandable. Here's some Powerade. I mean,
honestly, because I feel like the difference between me and you was just like, at a point, I was into it. And then I was just like, okay, I am not into it anymore, but I was like, I was invested in it.
Maybe that's why it was so strong for you, because it was like, you were into it at one point, and then it's like, it slaps you on the back of the head, it's like, stop.
It's the whiplash of emotion.
Stop it. That was a really good clap, by the way.
Like, my God. Even during like some of the later chapters, I'm just like, no.
Don't say it.
No, because like his art is fucking amazing, right? It's I don't know how he draws his sex scenes to be this intense, where I'm just like, I'm feeling emotions that I've never felt before in my life.
I was reading this praying, I want to go back to the succubus one. I really wanted to just
Okay, I gotta ask. What do y'all think about the final chapter?
Fucked up. Okay, listen, I think because I almost think now, hearing your guys' talk, like thoughts on it, is that this manga works amazingly, or Doujin works amazingly if you get invested really heavily in the first part and the first sex scene.
Yeah.
Because then like I said, it hits you in the back of the head. It's like, no,
don't
don't be horny.
Yeah,
it's bad. Horny bad.
I mean, it like gave me such a mess of emotions, right? Because I'm just like, I know I shouldn't be horny right now. This is fucking depressing as shit. This is fucked up.
I didn't like the guy at all. I think that's why. Like, I couldn't.
No, I didn't like the guy at all.
You're not supposed to like the guy.
Yeah, but that's, to me, it's like, you know, the whole hotness of the sex is the duo dynamic.
Okay. Someone who is that depressed shouldn't be making those kinds of facial expressions. You can fucking frame
What do you
some of
mean
the
by
facial
that? What do you-
expressions.
What do you mean by that,
Like,
Garnt?
honestly,
Let's unpack that a little
Okay,
bit. Let's jump right into it.
Let's talk about the art
This
of
is gonna
that.
need another drink.
Let's talk about the art of the ahegao, right?
I'm
like-
not fond of it. I've been oversaturized to it.
Yeah, you've been oversaturated.
I think we
right?
all have.
We all have, right? But like his like ahegao faces are some of the most unique fucking ahegao faces
I'll
I've
admit.
ever seen in all of hentai.
It's Asanagi and Shindo well.
I'm a man of the church, though. That's
Yeah.
not enough to make me quiver. I don't see that. My wills are not compromised by such ill thought ideas.
I'm
of
sorry,
sex.
Connor, that this art piece was so good that it made me question. It made me question it for a second, and then I was just like, "No, I'm back to it. This is awful.
I'm just
This is
imagining
depraved."
The fucking name of the clip for this fucking thing. Garnt thought fucking Metamorphosis was the fucking Mona Lisa of Doujin or some shit.
I personally think it's the Mona Lisa of Doujins.
No.
Like, okay. The reason why like I was so engrossed in it is because it was such like
You love incest, and there's incest in it at some point, God. So clearly that's why you like it.
it was such a fucking mess of emotions, and it was like an emotional up and down. Like
It was just down from the start. I knew the moment she was like, "I can't make good friends." I'm like, "Oh no, that's
The
gonna
only other
that's
time
gonna lead to bad
I
decisions.
felt that depressed reading something was Oyasumi Punpun.
It also okay. I
Like,
also,
it-
I've not read Oyasumi.
I also
This is the Oyasumi Punpun of Doujin.
I also want to put it into perspective that I just read like 3.5 hours of porn before this. So
Yeah.
reading this last was not a good way to end my day. I was already quite done with reading porn. And then you have to bear in mind, there was probably no way I was going to find any, if it was the
Well,
hottest
that's what you get for doing your homework the day before it's due.
I was given the thing the day before. I was given this 2 days ago. So, I think that also didn't help because there was no way I was ever going to find any of these things attractive because I was pretty much, I was pretty done.
Yeah.
With reading porn.
You've
at that
read-
point.
Yeah.
I've read
You
so
did
much.
your year's quota of reading.
I literally read like what I think is like a normal person's like month worth of porn in one day.
Yeah.
So I was pretty exhausted.
Yeah.
And the fact that this came up and I just saw right through it right away. I knew exactly what they were going to do right from the start. And I was just like, it's fine. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to make me sad.
Yeah.
And I don't appreciate it. Frankly, it's
I
not.
want a happy ending.
It's not done well. The whole the moment that her dad looked at her, I'm like, I see what you're doing here, buddy. And I'm not
Your
a fan.
next line is.
And I'm not- I'm
I
not a
actually
fan.
we keep talking about the dad, but I think the dad is the worst part of the Doujin
It's
because
definitely-
it was just like for me reading the dad episode was just like let's just throw
It
in
is
something
literally.
fucked up.
I would rather eat my own toenails
Yeah.
than read them again.
But it was after the dad Doujin, the dad chapter part when I'm just like, yo, this is really engrossing as a story, right?
I knew it was going there. The moment he gave her a drug, I'm like, he is literally going to sell her later on and use drugs for
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
It
of
was
course.
so obvious it was going there. And so when it went there, I was like, I was not even surprised. The dad thing caught me off guard. I had a feeling it might happen. And then when it did happen, I'm like, for fuck's sake.
yeah,
God damn it. God damn it.
because like to me it was just like. It was just the feeling of just being like, this is the most depraved shit. I shouldn't feel horny at all. This situation.
Are people jacking off to this?
I don't think so. I don't know. Probably someone.
Probably.
Is. I mean,
Vsauce. Vsauce.
because the thing is, it was that emotion juxtaposed between how amazing the sex scenes were. Because like out of context.
Extra down on this.
No, out of context. Out of context.
No, I don't think the sex scenes
The
were that
art,
good.
the art was fucking
But
amazing.
half it was for fucking ugly bastards. So how am I supposed to get behind that shit?
I mean, it wasn't all ugly.
wasn't all
bastards.
ugly.
It was main. Okay, so it was. We had two very big scenes with older men.
Yeah.
and it was just very gross because
I mean, there were 6 chapters, and 2, maybe 3 of them were ugly bastards, and
which frankly,
3
one
of
is too many for me personally.
I mean,
so the fact that I read this shit and I thought it's bad enough she's fucking some random dude for money who is literally
Yeah.
the ugliest man on earth.
Yeah.
And then next it's like fucking Smash Bros introducing a new fighter, a fucking dad into this fucked up story already, which is already depressing as fuck because everyone in the fucking school has had a go at her.
Yeah.
And it's just like that shit alone. I was like, you know what? Like yeah, sure, Japanese kids are fucked up, but like
Yeah.
this is too much. This would never happen. No way in any school would this ever happen.
Well, it's interesting because like I interviewed Shindo like a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and we talked about this. I was like,
Yeah.
because I wanted to know. I was like, what inspired Metamorphosis. And he said that because he was born and raised in New York.
Yeah.
So he was like, I heard and saw so many stories that were similar to this.
Right.
And he was like, I wanted to bring light to it because otherwise no one fucking talks about it.
I bet this shit has happened like separately.
Yeah.
Like all of these individual things.
No, absolutely.
Definitely
No.
happened.
Yeah.
But
this
like,
isn't based off of real
No,
life.
I know, I know.
yeah.
But the fact that like you string these all together to a point where I'm just like, I suspend my disbelief, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
No, it's not supposed to be realistic, but it's
Yeah,
supposed
I know,
to be.
I know, but
it's basically, I think, in my opinion, it was Shindo being like, look, this shit happens.
But like I think about movies that fuck me up, and I think that could be me. I could make that mistake. I could be in that situation. In this one, I was like, this is.
Well, yeah,
I
because
feel
you're
like-
not a chick.
Yeah, but even then, like I feel like it was trying too hard. To
Well,
be fucked.
I think the most fantastical element was how much he enjoyed the sex, right? Because that was I feel that was the big difference between
That was
just-
also an uncomfortable part because I'm like, is this good? Is this what she wants? I don't.
no, that's the one that's to me
That's
what
the most interesting
that's,
element.
that to me is what like drew me in was like the fact that she enjoyed the sex so much, which I know is like
But with her
unrealistic.
dad, Vsauce music, what?
No. That's the point, right? Where it's just like it's such a mess of emotions that it's just like you have no grounding.
It questions your morality the entire time.
There's like no grounding on this kind of situation because personally, I don't know anyone who's fucked their dads.
I'm glad.
And I want
I'm questioning those 4 people.
and I kind of want to keep it that way, Like that's just me. I don't know if that's a hot take, but like I hope that never happens to any fucking body.
Yeah.
But
It's fucked.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. It's fucked. It's fiction, right?
Yeah.
But like the thing that drew me in was that it was just these fucked up situations juxtaposed between sex scenes that she obviously really enjoyed at the time, right? And I'm just like, yo, this is like really weird. This is like a weird car crash of different fucking things that I shouldn't be feeling right now. But I'm just like, I don't know how to like. I'm still like processing it now,
Right,
Because it's
right.
like the only time the reason I call this a masterpiece is that. It's the only time I felt this emotion that I'm trying to describe right now, right? Normally you get depressed. Normally you get horny. You don't talk about depression boner, do you? Like that just doesn't happen,
No.
right? But Metamorphosis is just these two fucking things that shouldn't coexist together.
Coexisting together.
Yeah, coexisting together. I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
It's
No, and
You
that's
know-
why I
you
think
know
it's
what-
brilliant as well. It's because
Yeah.
he took such a fucking risk with this, where he was like, this could have easily just been like a weird thing that no one would have picked up and then just like brushed under all of the, oh, okay, that's fucking weird. Let's not talk about that pile of doujins that are out there. But there was just, again, he just presented it in a way where it was just like, you came for the horny, but you're going to stay for the depression, whether you like it or not.
yeah.
And like, I don't know any other doujin that's managed to do that and managed to make me stay the entire time until the end.
You ever seen the Shia LaBeouf movie, Nymphomaniac?
No, I haven't. That's like the
No.
3-hour long one, right?
It's like there's 2 parts to it.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a really uncomfortable depiction of a woman who's addicted to sex.
Right.
I felt like that was really somewhat well done.
I've heard that's an interesting movie.
It's a very hard watch.
Yeah, really?
It's very long.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable because
It's that fucking like really avant-garde director.
yeah,
right?
it is, and
What's
it's
his
one of
name?
those things where it's like it really reminds you, like you think you're cool with sex until you see it in really uncomfortable ways, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's the Lars von Trier movie. That's
I
right.
kind of
Yeah,
do
yeah,
have weird thoughts about because it really makes you be like, oh, you're comfortable with sex? Bet. Like, like, and I feel like, having experienced that kind of weird shit, I feel like going into this, I'm like, yeah, I can kind of buy why she's into it, but also I feel like it's been done better in different places almost. I'm not saying that movie did it better essentially, but I feel like I've seen it done in a way where I'm like, I think this is done slightly more realistic to the point where I'm like, I believe it.
Yeah.
Right, but it's hard to do, like. I get it how like movies like Nymphomaniac probably did this whole thing better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Nymphomaniac has the upside of being more realistic by using real actors.
That's true.
right?
it's
I mean,
true,
we
it's true.
we shouldn't like the biggest
I
thing
guess
is
it's hard for me personally, who's never read Doujins, to see this and be like, damn, that's art, man. That's
Yeah.
I mean, like
this is deep.
I
It's
This
a
is
tall
so-
hurdle. We get it.
Right,
right. I mean,
totally
we
a
literally
hurdle.
just chucked you in the deep end and just like
Yeah.
tried to see
Yeah,
if
I
you could
mean,
crawl your way
it's
out.
it's like I'm not used to this genre.
Yeah.
You know, there's
I mean, I don't think anyone is...
all these kind of tropes in here, and then there's this girl who I'm supposed to believe is this kind of well done character, and I'm like, yeah, I don't believe it, man. Personally, at least.
I mean,
Personally.
at least you gave it a go. At least you can now say you read Metamorphosis.
I've read it. I'm not proud of that fact, Jerry. I want to undo the reading that I've done.
So what would you give it out of 10?
In terms of what?
In terms of just like how you felt about it.
4.
4.
It's an interesting read.
And what would you give it?
10.
Hell yeah.
Fuck off.
Hell yeah.
What does Sydney think of it?
I don't know what Sydney thinks of it.
You should ask her what she
And
thinks of
frankly, I'm afraid to ask because I
should be like, it's the hottest shit.
I've-
That
I've-
scene
I've-
with the
I've
dad
just
fucks.
with the dad.
Yo,
I-
I'm nutted.
I have heard too many things that have worried me in the past few months of my relationship that I'm kind of afraid to ask her opinion of like any hentai right now. So
I guess we'll leave it at that then, huh? Jesus Christ.
I mean, it was. I appreciate you guys introducing me to the wonderful world of.
okay,
What's
so
this, an Anthony Padilla
what-
video?
has this experience changed your perspective at all?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, I still have my preferred methods. You know?
Right.
I got my systems in place.
But would you ever, in your like off time,
Yeah, I mean,
go back to like try another Doujin, like a different
Yeah, if
one?
I was recommended a Doujin that was highly praised, I would go and read it. I mean, it's not too difficult.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's not too long.
yeah.
No.
I would say the biggest appeal about reading doujins or highly rated doujinshi is like you've talked about finding that one hentai that's fucking like the diamond in the pool of shit, right? There's so much choice with doujinshi because there's like obviously so much, right?
Infinite amount of tags.
There's way more choice than there is for hentai, and you can find way more doujins that are like specifically garnered to your choice.
I just really enjoy voice acting so much. And especially in that manner, I really enjoy what it adds to it.
Yeah.
I feel like it helps sell my believability on
To me, the best tag you can possibly get is plot. Plot is the best spice.
Isn't it tragic that it has to be a tag though? That like it's not a given that everything has.
I don't want plot in my.
Yeah, some people are like, no. I don't want the plumber turning up today. I don't want the pizza man delivering a pizza.
You know, the fact that we're talking about the plumber and the pizza man just shows how fucking devoid of plot every fucking porno is. That we've gotten this kind of mentality where it's just like, plot's kind of hot. You know, knowing the context of why people are fucking, that's kind of hot. You know, is that such a hot take?
Me not being a fucking monkey and just scratching my nuts to people fucking, you know, great, fantastic, you know, wow.
My God. Well, I'm just glad, Connor, that we managed to finally do this episode because we've been talking about doing this episode for quite a while now. We were like, 2 out of 3 love Doujin. Monkey Man over here doesn't want to read.
I feel at this point we should just make it like a is it bi-yearly? Bi-yearly? Twice a year?
Yeah.
We'll
Doujin and the hentai
this
episode,
is like about 6 months after the hentai episode. We'll do another hentai episode.
Oh my God, it's already been
6
6 months.
Yeah, I know, right?
Jesus God, we just talk so fucking much, don't we? Jesus Christ. I can't believe.
Honestly, this has been such a fucking episode. It's such a fucking fun episode to film.
A fucking episode. It has been a fucking episode.
This has been a fucking episode. That's what
you know,
it's
the
been.
succubus one, I'm praying gets it.
Oh yeah. So out of the 7, what's your favorite?
Can I rank them in order?
Sure.
All right. Metamorphosis 0.
Oh my God.
Metamorphosis is the worst one.
Okay, least favorite to most favorite. So Metamorphosis.
Right, okay, so Metamorphosis is by far the worst one.
Okay.
Very close second last place.
Yeah.
The fucking Orimo one. Fuck that one. Fuck that one. So that's what? Garnt in the bottom so far?
Yeah.
I will say that probably after that is... it's got to be the first one.
Dorei Usagi.
Yeah. That one I wasn't too fond of.
Yeah.
And then third, I guess,
Yeah.
is... this is difficult. Seikatsu
Shuukan.
Shuukan.
Okay.
Shoda.
The Shoda one, yeah. Shoda one.
Fourth, I'll give it to the Sensei one.
Okay.
Fifth, I'll give it to Peace Hame.
Yeah.
And first place, I'll give it to Succubus.
Wow.
So two of yours are my favorite.
That's pretty balanced then.
That's pretty balanced,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Well, you recommended the Succubus one, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say...
And then Peace Hame is my one.
Yeah, I'd say you both gave me... You know, I was shocked. I was expecting worse from you. I was expecting lolly orc gangbangs from Jerry. And from you, Garnt, I was expecting the whole family fucking each other.
I mean, we could have recommended that to you, but like,
next
We
time, I
got
guess.
pretty fucking close with the Origami one, right?
yeah. and you
Oh,
haven't
the whole family came out for fun with that one. Fuck me.
and you haven't finished Peace Hame, so I'm just gonna leave that.
The thing is, we can only recommend 3. So like, when you're choosing 3 doujinshi, that's like a fucking hard choice. It's like it's like choosing between your children. I was just like, I wanted to recommend like one of the top tier MILF ones, but I'm just like, there's not this, like, there's not enough
Next time
space.
you can recommend me like 1 good one and 2 ones that you know I'll fucking hate.
Honestly, you know what you can do? Give us a list of tags, and we'll find you something.
MILF,
Okay,
stepmom,
Stepmom,
stepmom.
Mother knows breast. I don't know.
It's like the I don't like incest,
But
I'd like to tell you boys that I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go home today, a changed man, reading Doujins, but I'm not. I'm definitely not.
next one is the Erogay episode, so we gotta recommend some Erogays.
No, because they're like 10 hours long.
No, they're like 100 hours long.
what I want to do for the next episode is like the adult manhwa. That's a
that's a good one.
That's a genre I've been getting into, and honestly, I think adult manhwa story-wise is even better than some doujinshi.
Yeah, we can recommend Connor some adult manhwa.
I feel like Connor would very much be into adult manhwa.
Corrupting me slowly. I'm a man of the Lord. I've never been corrupted until today. Yeah.
Hey, if you also like to be corrupted or watch this episode uncensored, then make sure to support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/trashtaste.
Look at all these lovely degenerates.
Look at all these lovely degenerates who are already there, probably watching this uncensored already.
For just $5 beautiful, you can see all of the glorious mentions in this video.
Yeah, you can see all the panels
I
and
don't know how
scenes we talk about.
The beautiful scenes.
The beautiful scenes.
You can see
The beautiful art.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But hey, if you enjoy it, then yeah, make sure to support us on Patreon. Also, follow us on Twitter, send us your memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our faces, or, I mean, this is going to be a weird episode to listen to on Spotify, but you can listen to us on Spotify as well, so go check that out.
Thank you so much for joining us. See you later, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.